Reborn as a lowly slave, I mastered the master's secret art with a single glance, perfecting every flaw in their pathetic techniques. I evolved the fifth form into a lethal dance of death. Yet, in this weak body, I still endure blows from mindless trash. These two cowards hide behind their mother's status, treating me like dirt. If I reveal my power now, I'll lose my cover. As I neared unconsciousness, a graceful figure blocked their path. It was Lady Seol Tu-nien, the one I was sworn to protect. The irony of her protecting me fueled my rage. Back in my room, I vowed to liberate her from this living hell. Her father, the great patriarch, is now nothing but a puppet dancing on the strings of that wicked snake, Thoi Tan Mir. That woman's greed is endless. After driving the young master into exile, she now schemes to seize the entire clan's fortune. She plans to sell the lady off in a forced marriage. Time is running out, and I must act before it's too late. With the butler's help, I obtained a secret scroll. To others, it seemed like basic breathing, but to me, it was everything. This art was the key to unlocking the raw, ancient energy of the heavens. It clearly belonged to a legendary master of old. I refined every move until they were etched into my soul. Then, a dark shadow fell. The old butler had suddenly vanished. I suspect that woman had him silenced. I realized then that I was next on her hit list and had to flee. To survive and reclaim my throne, I escaped. I traveled far into the mountains to forge my power in absolute solitude. I pushed my body to the limit on that peak. Despite my obsession, the sword felt foreign, and my grip remained unstable. Why does my blade shake at the final strike? This weakness is an insult to the power I once commanded as a king. I was trapped by the limits of the white crane style. I needed a breakthrough, something to transcend these pathetic mortal bounds. Suddenly, a white fox appeared on the jagged rocks. My startled cry broke the silence, and the creature's eyes turned cold. The beast lunged at me with predatory grace. I braced for a legendary duel, expecting a monster of great spiritual power. But the thief only wanted my rations. It snatched my bag and vanished, leaving me standing there like a complete fool. Wait. That fox's movement was uncanny. Such effortless grace in its short steps. A realization began to bloom in my mind. It didn't rely on brute force, moving only on its toes with divine precision. My heart raced as the truth became clear. A sword isn't gripped by the palm, true power is focused into the very tips of the fingers. I had been so blind. I swung my blade, and it moved with a mind of its own. It danced exactly where I willed it, lethal and fluid. I finally found the answer. That night, I retreated to a cave to synchronize my breathing with the earth's hidden pulse. My internal energy was surging back faster than ever, yet I still lacked a technique worthy of my true dark potential. I needed a vessel for my power. Should I mimic the primal instincts of beasts? The serpent's crawl or the tiger's strike? No. A snake is too predictable, moving in a single line. It lacks the complexity needed to humiliate the geniuses below me. A rabbit is too chaotic, and a carp too passive. None of these could hold the weight of my ancient, dark soul. My head throbbed from the search for the perfect form. Suddenly, a moth fluttered into view, dancing through the moonlit shadows. I swung my wooden sword, but it evaded every strike. It danced between my attacks like a phantom haunting the night. I couldn't even touch it. In that moment, I understood the chaotic, unpredictable rhythm of the butterfly's wing. It was perfect. 1 year of hellish training passed. The frail slave was gone, replaced by a monster whose every strike carried a death sentence. My wooden sword blurred into a butterfly's dance. I began to forge a new path, an original style born from darkness. A simple wooden stick cannot contain the sheer perfection of this art. I must focus on the trajectory, not the tool. I surrendered to the flow, replicating the moth's erratic flight. My sword became a nightmare of unpredictable, lethal movements and strikes. I unleashed the first form, then the second. The third and fourth followed in a symphony of destruction as my power peaked. With the final strike, my wooden sword shattered into splinters. Its destruction signaled the birth of a perfect, divine martial art. It was time to leave this mountain. But first, I needed a real blade, one flexible enough to handle my newfound dark energy. Only legendary steel could withstand the fluid lethality of my techniques. My preparation was finally reaching its ultimate, bloody climax. I shall call it the Blood Butterfly Sword Art. It is time to descend and reclaim everything that was stolen from me. I will find Lady Tu-nien, and hunt down every cockroach that dared to harm the Seol family. Their blood will flow. No matter how many years it takes, I will have my vengeance. Those who betrayed this house will beg for death. One day, I will test my blade against the eldest young master. Speak of the devil. He has finally appeared before me. It was Seol Tu-Fam. He has traded his soul for the demonic path, seeking power through forbidden and corrupted methods. Those who walk the path of shadows often lose themselves to madness. Their power becomes a curse that consumes their sanity. Many fall to darkness or face judgment, yet those walking the demonic path can still live as true warriors. Mastering their own will, the just demon ranks among the top 10 legends of the 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 world. While the rest of the top 10 serve the righteous factions, these masters walk a different, solitary path. Despite their demonic labels, they possess unshakable honor. Here, in Heavenly Demon City, lives the legend, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪. Within his walls, the great master faces a crisis. A game of Go against his own granddaughter. I won again. Grandpa! 3 times in a row, she cries, demanding he fulfill his promise to teach her. I'll do anything for you, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪, he stammers. But the path of martial arts is far too treacherous. 𝑰𝑵𝑺 stares back, stunned. Is the great heavenly demon really going to break his sacred word? Does he not care about his promise? Or is he simply underestimating her burning desire to fight? Don't think like that, he pleads, his heart racing. Her talent for Go has evolved far too quickly. If this keeps up, I'll have no choice. I tried using Go to distract her, but it backfired. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 is a literal genius. In his youth, he was a mere scholar with no interest in violence. He spent his days with books and stones, a heaven-sent talent who refused to touch a blade. His master had to beg him to enter the 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑚. His family were scholars, not cold-blooded killers. Yet, his precious granddaughter, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵, has martial blood boiling in her veins that he cannot ignore. As a child, she gave him massages. Now, she only wants to master his legendary, earth-shattering techniques. Suddenly, a guard enters. Lord! A mysterious young warrior is here to challenge you to a duel. He looks strange, the guard reports. Hearing this, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪's eyes light up with pure relief. A challenger, finally, an excuse. As city lord, I must handle this personally, he shouts, fleeing. Wait, Grandpa. What about me? She screams. Later. 𝑰𝑵𝑟, duty calls, he yells back, vanishing. Lan is fuming. Meanwhile, the master reaches the gates to see the fool who dares challenge him. A lone youth stands on the arena. What is your name, boy? The master demands with authority. I have no surname. Just call me Tu-Fam, he replies. I am here to challenge the Lord. The guards erupt in laughter. You? Challenging our Lord? You've clearly got a death wish, kid. How dare a nobody be so insolent, they bark. But Tu-Fam remains calm, his eyes showing no fear. I do not seek to surpass the Lord, he says humbly. I only wish to learn from his greatness. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑚 studies him. Despite the blunt words, the boy exudes a humble yet overwhelming, dignified aura. It's been a long time since I've felt such pressure, he muses. Boy, do you play Go? Tu-Fam bows. I know the basics. The master smiles. Fine. But first, you must defeat me. To set foot in the heavenly demon's arena, one must first survive a battle on the board. Years of challengers had exhausted the master, so he turned Go into the ultimate gatekeeping test. A game of Go is a game of war. To master the stones is to master the sword. Reading the board means reading the soul. If you can't see the trap, you can't survive the battlefield. It is a path to defeat for those who fight without thinking. Brute force alone will never win. Only one man in the entire 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 had ever pushed the master this far until this very moment. As night falls, the tension thickens. The stones click like clashing steel in the silent room. Outside, the crowd waits in shock. Is it still going? How many rounds has it been? The Lord won the first, a guard whispers. But 𝑰𝑚𝑦𝑟 sees the truth. The second is uncertain. This kid isn't normal, she whispers. Even geniuses make mistakes over time, but not him. Every stone placed reveals his character. His moves aren't just smart, they are chillingly precise and deep. If wisdom flows like water, his resolve is as immovable as a mountain peak against the storm. He holds his territory like an iron fortress. How can a mere youth possess such ancient pressure? Midnight passes. The battle of minds rages on. Cat Von Hoch can't contain his curiosity any longer. Why challenge me? With your talent, any sect would beg to have you as their heir. Tu Pham looks up, his gaze piercing. Because only here can I truly sharpen my ultimate skills. His soul is a slumbering beast, currently trapped within the shell of a weakling. With elite training, he will become an unrivaled predator with peerless, righteous internal energy. He is clearly a hidden heir of a great clan. But what secrets does he hide? Tu Pham hesitated before speaking. I have a mission, and someone is waiting for me. A precious person I couldn't take along, who is gambling their entire future on my return. I swore to advance relentlessly. To reach my goal, I must never stop moving forward. Von Hoch praised his resolve. With such determination, you are destined for legendary greatness. Just don't lose focus. Suddenly, Tu Pham's expression shifted. The situation had changed instantly. While lost in thought, he had been completely surrounded. Had they moved that fast? Truly a formidable opponent. Tu Pham bowed his head, gracefully admitting defeat in their match. Do you wish to duel me? Von Hoch asked. Tu Pham replied, I dare not hope for victory. However, clashing with a master like the city lord would bring me immense enlightenment. Van Hoch's admiration grew. Such humility. You truly are a remarkable young man. Fine then. Lan Ni, stop hiding and come out here this instant. Trembling with cold sweat, Lan Ni emerged. Von Hoch introduced her to the young traveler. This is my granddaughter, my Lan. We play Go for both strategy and entertainment, but rules are meant to be tested. How about a duel with Lan Ni instead? She is my direct disciple. Though a beginner, she is mastering the path of the sword. This is the perfect chance for her to test her hidden limits, Van Hoch plotted. The duel will be in a few days. Until then, let's play another round of Go. My Lan screamed in protest. Grandpa, you just started teaching me. Now I have to fight? You've even skipped our last 3 lessons. Van Hoch laughed awkwardly to hide his scheme. Lan Ni, he's your age. My Lan snapped back. Then you should teach me properly first. If I duel him, you cannot miss a single training session next week. Grandpa. Van Hoch chuckled and agreed. Tu Pham realized the old man was avoiding his own student. Time passed quickly. The day of the duel arrived, and a massive crowd gathered. Every warrior in the city flocked to the square, eager to witness the coming clash. Whispers erupted as Tu Pham appeared. Is that him? The fool who challenged the Lord? He looks stubborn, they sneered. But the collective pressure of the crowd was overwhelming. Their martial auras felt like shifting waves, masking a power that could shatter mountains. If unleashed, that energy would become a devastating tsunami, crushing everything in its path. Yet the Lord ruled them all. Tu Pham realized how monstrous Van Hoch truly was. My opponent is his successor. I cannot afford even a single moment of carelessness. Van Hoch called out from above. Hey kid, is the atmosphere here starting to weigh on you? His wife, Tu An, watched with narrowed eyes, clearly displeased by her husband's antics. Is it funny to use your granddaughter as a stake for your board games? Van Hoch feigned innocence, but Tu An saw right through his selfish facade. You only kept him here so you could play, Go all day. You're being ridiculous. You said martial arts were too dangerous for her. Why make her fight a stranger? Hush now, Van Hoch replied. I've personally gauged his character and his hidden strength. They are using training blades. It's safe. My Lan then stepped forward with a bow. Please guide me, young lord. I am inferior in both age and martial skill. Will you grant me a handicap? Tu Pham agreed. Suddenly, My Lan's eyes turned predatory. A wicked smirk flashed across her face as she lunged at him like a hunting beast. Steel clashed. Tu Pham blocked the strike. The real battle had finally begun. My Lan's eyes flickered with predatory interest. Impressive, she smirked. To think you'd block that. With explosive agility, she leaped high, flipping through the air before lunging with lethal intent. Her blade hissed toward his throat. The protagonist sidestepped just in time, narrowly escaping the steel. Steel sparked against steel. My Lan's strikes were growing heavier, fueled by her rising battle aura. Finding a momentary opening, the reborn demon lord spun low, aiming a sweeping kick to end it. She reacted instantly, leaning back dangerously and nearly losing her footing from the sudden momentum shift. Recovering with grace, she retreated. Even our main character was impressed by her instinctive martial talent. My Lan grew cautious. This supposed loser had terrifying perception. One slip meant certain defeat. Grandfather was right, she thought. You're a true monster. This is finally getting exciting. Let's see if you can handle this. She shifted into a sword stance, unlike any before. She soared, her snow-cloud sword descending like a winter storm upon the silent, hidden master. Yet, he parried the divine strike effortlessly. The elders watching from the pavilion erupted in whispers. The great snow demon laughed heartily. That girl. Her phantom sword technique is truly becoming peerless. Peerless? His rival scoffed. You only won her as a disciple through a lucky gambling bet. Meanwhile, the heavenly demon didn't blink, focused entirely on his daughter's fierce, high-stakes battle. Lan's skills had reached the pinnacle, yet her opponent remained unsettlingly calm under the pressure. Despite the blade nearing his neck, his eyes remained cold. He wasn't just fighting, he was analyzing. Every faint and hidden strike Lan threw was being catalogued within his ancient, demonic mind. The elders realized the truth. His reaction speed and combat instincts were far beyond human limits. This wasn't the look of a student. It was the gaze of a survivor of 10,000 wars. His experience was vast, forged in blood. Now, the main character finally decided to make his move. He unsheathed his blade, mirroring her secret snow cloud technique with terrifying, flawless precision. The crowd gasped in horror. How could a mere academy loser mimic a high-level art so easily? The great demon froze. Could this brat really copy a legendary technique just by seeing it once? Who is this kid? They wondered. The protagonist lunged, a mocking smile playing on his lips. A genius who copies with his eyes? Lan hissed. You continue to defy my expectations, sir. But copying makes you predictable, she warned. Unaware she was falling directly into his trap. I have much more than just that. She vaulted into the air, unleashing her ultimate finishing move. 7 phantom strikes. A lethal downpour of energy crashed toward the reborn Lord of Shadows. He met the blow head-on. The collision shook the entire arena, blinding the audience in a flash. Smoke and debris choked the air. The spectators waited in breathless silence to see who remained standing. As the dust settled, both stood tall, a perfect draw. The crowd finally let out a breath. Lan sheathed her blade and bowed deeply. That was a truly magnificent duel, young master. I've learned much from you, he replied smoothly, still hiding the true depths of his power. The Grandmaster's voice boomed from above. Superb. A battle worthy of the ancient legends. But then his tone shifted. Young man, you shouldn't just thank Lan for this lesson. Shouldn't you pay respects to the creators of the arts you just borrowed right now? The arena went dead silent. The creator of the 7 phantom strikes looked on in pure disbelief. Did he really master my entire sequence in a single exchange? Lan stammered. It was impossible. Even a god-tier genius would need decades to master such complex, ancient swordplay. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪, the creator, roared in fury. Don't lie. No brat can learn my life's work instantly. I spent 40 years perfecting those strikes. This is an absolute insult to my martial legacy. The main character remained stoic, his silence only fanning the flames of the old man's rage. Speak! Don't hide like a coward, the master challenged. Prove your skills to us right now. Seeing no choice, the demon lord stepped forward. It was time for a real, terrifying demonstration. With just a few movements, he perfectly executes the 7 ghostly swords. The crowd is frozen in absolute shock. General Kwok's jaw drops. Impossible. He mastered every single form just by watching it once? Who is this monster hiding in a loser's body? Our hero simply bows, apologizing for his accidental mastery. The blade's path was just so clear, he says calmly. To him, it was just following the flow. He refuses to be a thief. He won't join the ranks of those unrighteous demonic cultivators. How bold! The demonic hero laughs mockingly. A thief who steals an entire martial art? You've got some nerve, kid. You should have begged to be my disciple instead. The heavenly demon's secrets could make you a god. Master the 7 ghostly swords, and you'll walk the path of a supreme legend. But danger lurks nearby. Using a secret soul transmission, the hero whispers. Listen carefully. I have been waiting for someone like you. Our hero responds with cold politeness. I understand your intent, but I won't serve a demon as my master. That's the spark. The hero's rage explodes, shaking the very foundations of the hall. You arrogant brat! You dare look down on us until the very end? Your mouth is far too loud. You insult my master? I have lived my life under the heavens without a shred of shame. Dark energy surges like a tidal wave. The hero begins his lecture, preparing to teach the boy a lesson. He rants about the foolish divide between light and dark, the very thing that bathes the world in blood. The ones you call masters are the ones who split this world. They are the ones who started this war. Do you think light and dark cannot coexist? Look at a board of Go, you blind fool. Can you win with only white pieces? The world isn't just one color. I should have killed you sooner. The hero unleashes a devastating blast of dark mana. Our protagonist doesn't even try to dodge. He takes the full force of the blow. The impact is so violent that even bystanders are blown away. Our hero collapses, looking like a broken shell. General Quach rushes forward, his face pale with terror. My lord, why so suddenly? But the hero's fury isn't quenched yet. He roars at the dying boy. He insulted my lineage. He insulted the heavenly demon. This brat's arrogance has made us all a joke. No one has ever seen the Lord this ruthless. The air is thick with the scent of death and fear. Not a single person dares to breathe. Quach wants to help, but the Lord's pressure is too heavy. He tries to plead for the boy's young age, but his words fall on deaf ears. The sentence is passed. Throw him into the Pine Rock Mountains. Anyone who dares to help him will lose their head. They drag his battered body and dump it in the wilderness like trash. The Lord's plan is in motion. Quach leaves with a heavy heart. As night falls, the dead boy finally opens his eyes. He reaches into his robes and pulls out a secret book, the manual for the 7 ghostly swords. Quach had slipped it to him in secret. Our hero realizes he has found a true ally today. The world can't be divided into black and white. He remembers the Lord's secret words amidst the chaos. The public execution was a farce. In reality, the Lord had chosen him as his true successor. Just listen and don't answer. I have waited an eternity for a monster like you to appear. You have questions, but remain silent. The truth I'm about to tell you is a death sentence. If this secret leaks, half the warriors in this city will hunt you down until you're dead. Keep this hidden until you truly understand my legacy. First, I will get you out of here safely. Then, follow your own path. That is why our hero stood still and took that devastating strike. He never planned to call a demon his master. But fate had other plans for this reborn legend. It seems you've helped me more than I thought. You shall be my first master after all, and the Lord, you'll be my second. Meanwhile, in the Henan province, a new crisis is brewing. The 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑩𝑳𝑬 escort agency is famous for its perfect record. But in this world, reputation is life. One day, the unthinkable happens. Someone is playing a shadow game, swapping their precious cargo in secret. Ambushes become frequent. Their honor is being dragged through the mud by an invisible enemy. To reclaim their lost glory, the agency chief decides to lead the next convoy himself. A trap awaits. The agency head was ambushed by a mysterious force. Now bedridden, the fall of Kumthan begins. One by one, the great agencies collapse. From the shadows, the Azure Dragon rises to seize power. A massive conspiracy is unfolding. Kumthan Agency has lost its strength, barely clinging to its name. The young leader, Tongler Chao, is desperate. Night and day, worry consumes her soul. The house is mortgaged, everything is gone. I can't just sit here while we lose it all. She needs warriors for a final mission. Seeing her despair, her brother Lair Huan speaks up. Stop that face, sis. You're the leader. If you look defeated, the men will lose all hope. Lair Huan finds 2 recruits, but he's uneasy. They're strange, like unpredictable monsters hiding in plain sight. Lair Chao brushes it off. We just need bodies. Their past doesn't matter if they can swing a sword. An ambush is certain. Having warriors who actually know martial arts is our only hope. She meets them at last. They look like total losers, clumsy, and completely out of place. One is a fool. The other hides behind a bamboo hat. Are these really the men to save her? They look nothing like legendary escorts. But as a leader, she must see what others miss. The blue-haired youth speaks first. So, what's the cargo? Don't waste our time. We know your agency is dying. Just tell us the job, and we'll get it done. Lair Chao hesitates, then reveals the truth. It's a ghost convoy. We're escorting an empty carriage. Their reputation is in tatters. Their goods stolen. Even her father was crippled trying to protect nothing. My father bled to protect our honor. As leader, I will restore the Kumthun name. Before she can finish her grand speech, A cold voice cuts through her words like a blade. Do you really think this pathetic trick will work? Can you truly rebuild what has already crumbled? Lair Chao freezes in shock. This man just read her entire strategy in a single glance. We must expose the Azure Dragon's cowardice. She desperately tries to justify her naive plan. Is it innocence or just stupidity? The man stands and walks out, radiating cold arrogance. His disrespect sparks a fire in her. Lair Chao stands, her rage finally boiling over. Wait. We appreciate the help, but you have no right to judge our struggle. The blue-haired partner sighs at his friend's bluntness. He tries to calm the furious leader down. While they talk business, the other man steps outside. He looks into the trees with a predatory gaze. 8 of you? Pathetic. I know you're hiding, so crawl out and die. Inside, the blue-haired warrior warns her. Leader, for your safety, gather everyone in one place. Now, they step outside to a chilling sight. The hat-wearing loser is already surrounded by assassins. Masked killers swarm in from the darkness. They strike to kill, using the chaos as a distraction. Suddenly a flash of steel. Blue hair moves like lightning, a blur of pure destruction. 2 assassins fall before they can blink. If the client dies, we don't get paid. How annoying. Lair Chao is speechless. Such overwhelming power. From a mere rank 3 escort? On the other side, the hat-wearing man stands over a pile of corpses. He irritably tosses his hat aside. Couldn't you finish them properly? It's him, the legendary 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪. A dark aura explodes. Bodies litter the ground. What now? 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 asks, looking at the trash. Hide the evidence so their masters can't track us. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 turns to the trembling leader. Is everyone okay? He asks. Lair Chao nods, realizing they've been saved by monsters. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 groans about the late-night workout. They didn't even last one round. What a waste. You missed one, he mocks his partner. The banter continues amidst the scent of blood. I was busy protecting the client. They argue like children, ignoring the carnage they created. The air feels heavy with their hidden strength. Lair Chao realizes she has found something miraculous. These aren't just escorts. They are gods in disguise. The light of Kumthan's rebirth has finally arrived. The battle is over, but the war is just beginning. She speaks, her voice filled with newfound hope. If you both feel ready, I wish to continue our previous discussion. Are you truly that man? The one feared as the demon blade? How long had they been feasting before the wine flowed again? Le Huan watched him in pure terror. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪, the thief who crushed the Northern Ridge duo? He took a sip and corrected him. I am the demon blade, not a thief. Now, where is your friend? That boy who loves butterflies? He is scouting the perimeter and will return shortly. He is a genius. Is his brilliance innate or learned? We have not known each other long enough for me to say. Le Chao was stunned. Have you two not been companions for years? 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 gave a weary sigh. It is a long story. We met only 2 months ago. He recalled the day at that shady casino. I doubted there was any profit in such a den of vice, despite my own purse being full. But that brat nearly ruined everything. I could not believe he made a fortune through illegal gambling. He carried a blade, proving his martial prowess. Perhaps it was time to test his skills against mine. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 lurked in the shadows, waiting. Suddenly, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 stopped. Hey there, you in the dark. Your job seems to be hiding and stealing. Is that sharp blade meant to threaten the innocent? Startled, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 gripped his sword. Have you never heard the legendary name of 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵? I have a debt to settle. But first, a lecture. Follow me, and I shall show you the world. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 realized this was a calculated trap. They moved to a secluded clearing to settle the score. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 nodded. This place is perfect. No one will witness your shameful defeat here today. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 laughed. Indeed, I am the only witness to your disgrace when I slam you down. Such arrogance. Let us see how long you can struggle. Tell me, what is your name? Boy, my name is not worth your time. But tell me, how do you rank against the 5 masters? You look like a true master, yet I know nothing of your past or your secret sect. He roared with laughter. Defeat me, and I shall tell you everything. Then, he lunged like a predator. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 parried the strike instantly. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 was shocked he blocked my full power with such ease. The duel turned violent. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 struck with fury, but 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 suddenly retreated with a calm smile. I see it now. Your strength is great, far surpassing the weaklings I usually crush in battle. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 was enraged. You were holding back just to test me? Van Heap simply smirked in response. You provoke me while fighting with extreme caution. You understood my true intentions from the very start. Fine, you win this round, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰 admitted. But Van Heap's eyes gleamed as he proposed a wager. If I win, I keep the gold and your information. I will help you finish your secret mission. But if I triumph, you shall serve me for 6 months without question. Are you ready now? I will be serious this time. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰 trembled. This monster is not even letting me negotiate. Does he truly intend to attack? Can I even trust a man who hides such monstrous power? I am weary of games. I need nothing. But what favor do you seek from a warrior? If it is villainy, I refuse. Van Heap replied. I am merely searching for a specific person. This martial world is too vast to search alone. He drew his blade, and the air froze. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰 snarled. If you lose, stop this nonsense. Van Heap invited him forward with a cold glare. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽 braced himself. A master of his age could only be one of the two legends. His aura was suffocating. Blood butterfly art, second form. The first move was the drifting wind. Van Heap charged forward. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽's heart raced. What kind of ancient sword technique is this? He was too fast. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽 watched in horror as his ultimate strike was dodged with ease. As he fell, Van Heap offered a hand. I have won. You must follow me as promised. He took the hand. Your power. How can a youth possess such overwhelming and ancient internal energy? Tell me your sect. If you are a demon of the martial world, I cannot follow you. You lost. So accept your fate. I have no time for petty misunderstandings or useless questions. To survive, one needs a good story. Behold the great Yin scripture, the source of my power. My art? It was forged from ancient medical scrolls. No masters, no sects, just techniques perfected for my unique internal energy. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽 is speechless. Tie-in breathing. A lost art he's never heard of. Of course. I just invented it. What's the next plan? He asks, frustrated. Why is a so-called hero lurking in these illegal gambling dens anyway? I smirk. Isn't the path yours to decide? You sensed a disturbance in the 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽 and came hunting for answers. Join me. Following you will lead me straight to the heart of this mystery. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽 relents, finally falling in line. Back to now. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽 finishes his tale to the siblings. And that's how our fates became entwined, he says. LeChao's jaw drops. He broke the demon blade? Who is this monster? 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽 just stares into the distance. We don't share names, but his blood butterfly art is terrifying. To me, he is the peerless blood butterfly master. I've fought geniuses, but his power is on another level. Suddenly, the protagonist appears behind them, silent as a ghost. Talking behind my back? He grins. Speak of the devil. It's high time for a drink and some cold truth. Focus on your own story, Van Heap snaps. LeChao feels a chill. This man's eyes hold a bottomless, ancient power. So young, yet he carries the aura of a supreme ruler. With him, our dying escort bureau could reach the heavens. She bows low. Forgive my late greeting. Thank you for your divine assistance. We would be dead without you. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽 laughs. He's just a greedy escort working for coin. But LeChao sees the hidden dragon within him. Sister! Wait! Her brother cries. But she persists. My goal is simple. I will revive the Camthon Bureau alone. I'll do whatever it takes to reclaim our honor, even if I must sell my soul to the devil himself. She looks at him, pleading. I'll give you this mansion. Just keep my family safe. Protect my brother from our enemies. As long as the lineage lives. Van Heap watches her. He finally sees the desperate flame burning in her eyes. Now I see why this place still stands. But is this pathetic begging your only strategy? I expected more. Her brother trembles. I refuse, Van Heap says. This house is drowning in debt. It's worth less than the dirt. Why should I trade for a loss? It doesn't suit my philosophy. He gazes at the ruins with total boredom. Before we deal, I'll make this bureau the most valuable asset in the 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽. LeChao gasps, her heart racing. If you prosper, I profit. It's a simple investment. He reaches into his robes and pulls out a golden script. He tosses a banknote onto the table. LeChao freezes. It's a king's ransom. The mission ends soon, but rebuilding takes years. You'll need a mountain of gold for that. Clear your debts. Reclaim your land. Tomorrow morning, you take back your pride from those who stole it. Keep the house. Give it to your father. I have no use for it. Le Xiao is stunned. Why help us? I'm buying time, he replies coldly. If your bureau gains fame, it serves my purpose. This is a profitable gamble. I stay or go as I please. But for now, I'll act as your escort. Consider yourself very lucky. I will serve you with my life, she vows. Han Bi sighs. You fund a bureau but won't buy me booze? Business is business, Van Heap retorts. Buying you a drink brings zero profit. Now, raise your glass and be silent. He toasts. The siblings join him, their hands shaking with hope. Han Bi grumbles about the sudden change in mood. Le Xiao smiles, a memory flickering. They remind me of the great young lord and Lady Tung Yen, she whispers. But where are they? The dark medicine from the Seol clan has appeared here. The plot thickens like blood. The shadows are converging. I won't let these worms succeed. My true power is finally ready to be unleashed. In a dark hall, a man trembles. You're saying, our elite squad was wiped out by a single man? Quach Chino of the Blue Dragon Bureau is livid. How could we lose to those pathetic Kumthan losers? The refugees didn't flee, the vice chief stammers. They've turned the Bureau into an impenetrable fortress. It's a media disaster. They are using the commoners as a shield. We can't attack without starting a war. They've outplayed us. I saw it myself. Chino roars. You brainless fool. I told you to watch them, not get humiliated. It wasn't my fault, those two escorts. They are monsters. One look at them and my soul nearly withered. 2 men defeated 10 of our best? Chino's eyes flash with murderous intent. Who are they really? They have a secret objective. Have you tracked them? The vice chief drops to his knees in cold sweat. No clues. I tried to examine the wounds on our men. But the bodies, they've been wiped from the earth. They buried them all, he gasps. The hunt for the mysterious blood butterfly has only just begun. Nothing about our plan should leak. Move with absolute caution. Once this is over, we'll seize Gansu and rule everything. It must be flawless. I understand, Father. I won't fail. What a waste for such masters to serve a failing bureau. I must test their strength myself. Tomorrow, the hunt begins. Something's different. These peasants survived the flood, yet they're smiling? The energy here has changed. Wait, there's the primary target. Le Xiao and the brat. They seem far too comfortable here. Those two slaughtered 10 of my men. My blood boils. Let's see if these so-called experts can actually survive me. Stop! We're being followed by a fly from the shadows. I never forget a face, even one as pathetic as his. Go on, Bureau Head. I'll lead this pest into my trap. His speed. Since when did that loser move like lightning? Don't look back. Just follow me. Someone is watching us. You're going alone? Without even carrying a sword or blade? His curiosity will be his undoing. He'll show himself soon. If you don't listen to me, you'll regret it later, Senior. A child lecturing me? How amusing. Let's move, Bureau Head. Why did they split? Is he abandoning her to die? My chance is here. I'll crush him like an insect. Wait. Where did he go? He vanished into thin air. Looking for me, dog of the Azure Dragon Bureau? Pathetic. You pests always make life so complicated for no reason. A noble playing beggar? Your disguise is as weak as you. I'll enjoy watching you crawl in the dirt very soon. Bare hands? You think you can stop my sword unarmed? I don't need a blade to deal with trash like you. You'll regret that arrogance. Die like the dog you are. His stance is wide open, completely amateurish, and full of gaps. One punch. That's all it takes to shatter your entire reality. What was that pressure? He created a storm with a fist. He's a monster in the making. I must kill him now. You've finally shown your claws. Let's see your best move. I'll end this with my ghost claw. Taste true despair. Your arm is mine. Wait, how did he counter my strike? Impossible. He sent me flying with a single casual blow. No more games. I'll rip your throat out right now. Your form is messy. You haven't even mastered the basics. Who is this guy? How can a loser be this powerful? I can't land a single hit. It's like fighting a shadow. Should we help him? He might be in actual danger. No. He's just playing with his food. Don't interfere now. Look closely. He's already predicted every single one of his moves. His talent. It's beyond anything this world has ever seen. With every encounter, the enigma of his true identity deepens. He isn't evil, but his aura is terrifying. I've seen such divine talents trigger bloodbaths in the Miram before. This world is a cruel, chaotic place. Can we wrap this up? He sighed mid-battle. I need to hit the market before the best goods sell out. Song Lechao groaned. How could this demon blade think of groceries while facing a lethal assassin's strike? The assassin's rage boiled over. No matter how hard he struck, his opponent was evolving, mastering his every move. Despair sank in as every killing blow was shattered. Who was this monster hiding behind a loser's mask? Then, it happened. He mirrored the enemy's secret footwork with terrifying precision. A perfect, lethal copy of the art. He wasn't struggling at all. He was dragging out the fight just to steal the opponent's secret techniques. I've mastered your claw style now, he whispered. The assassin froze. How could his family's secret be stolen? You've shown me your ghost shadow claw. Now, let me show you what a real nightmare looks like. Prepare. I'm actually quite terrible at fighting with my bare fists, he smirked. So, don't regret what happens next. Like a predator unleashed, he lunged. A single, devastating punch sent the assassin's world spinning into a bloody haze. The blood butterfly sword technique manifested. Crimson wings fluttered through the air, painting a beautiful scene of absolute destruction. Who are you? The villain stammered. Your organization seems quite pathetic and fractured, doesn't it? He asked. Let's be clear. Unlike you, I don't belong to any faction. I am a storm of my own making. Because of scum like you, the woman I'm searching for is forced to hide in the shadows of this world. If finding her means burning your entire organization to the ground, then I will gladly strike the first match. Tell your masters, send a real warrior next time. I have no more time to play with mere children. Enraged, the fool attempted a sneak attack, only to be slammed face first into the dirt instantly. Arrogant trash, who think they are the heavens itself, always find reality so very hard to swallow, he sneered. I only truly fight those who understand their own weakness. Shall I end your miserable life right here? No, he decided. If we kill him, the other rats will scatter. We need them to keep coming. He was a man on a divine mission, wandering the world for one soul. His path was paved with bodies. That claw technique belonged to the legendary Choi clan of Gansu, a formidable foe for any normal martial artist. In terms of pure skill, you're still behind him, she teased. He stopped, a strange glint flashing in his eyes. The Choi clan of Gansu, eh? I know them better than anyone. A dark smirk played on his cold lips. At a hidden sanctuary, the saintess arrived. The divine herbs you requested have been found. My lady, they whispered. My parents are recovering thanks to your help. She smiled. The reputation of the Jinlong escort was spreading fast. Your unconventional methods are working, the elder noted. The village finally sees the true strength of the Jinlong escort. I knew you'd win, but were you surprised by the ferocity of that elite claw style? She asked curiously. Victory isn't everything, he replied. But next time, she advised, unleash the true terror of the butterfly sword. It's the blood butterfly, not a common insect. But fine, next time I'll use a real blade to finish. To unleash the soul-reaping power of his secret art, his current weapon was useless. He needed a legendary blade. He could crush armies barehanded, but the monsters of the future would require a weapon forged in hell's fire. Where are you going? She asked as he stood. To the weapon forge. I need a sword that can sing. He stepped into a renowned shop, seeking a partner for the upcoming massacre among the rows of gleaming steel. He discovered a hidden backroom filled with ancient weapons. Which of these will be worthy of my hand? Rows of blades lined the tables, sharp enough to cut wind. Impressive, he thought, but they lack a soul. Tell me, boy, an old master smith cackled. Have you ever felt the heartbeat of the steel you carry? I've only ever mastered the wooden sword, he replied humbly. The old man saw the brutal cultivation in him. I made almost everything here, yet you ignore my work. Why is that? The old master tested him. Forgive me, but these few blades in the corner, they breathe a different kind of slaughter. They are superior. Those were forged by my son. Only a true monster of the blade can hear them breathing like that. And where is this genius now? He asked. The fool followed the call of love and vanished into night. He chose a woman over the forge. It would be a miracle if that boy ever returns to us. He's still thriving, and knowing his nature, my son's skills are truly peerless, so I am certain he'll survive anywhere, unless he's currently shackled in some dark abyss, forced to forge weapons, using blood runes. If he's still alive, why seek me? My path requires a unique blade that can handle liquid-fast movements. Do you have such steel? The old master then revealed, a hidden treasure. Is this a soft sword? Many fools have been pierced by its flickering tip, simply because they didn't fear a blade that dances like a ribbon in the air. What is the price? Just take it. The old man sighed. You've cleared the heavy fog in my soul today, and that is payment enough. I thanked him, sensing I would one day meet the legendary creator of this blade. When that time comes, I shall repay this debt. I began practicing in high spirits, as the old master watched. That boy moves with such absolute freedom. His sword style is divine. I don't know his lineage, but his internal power is monstrous enough to neutralize my full-strength strike. Truly an unpredictable monster. Suddenly, voices echoed. We're back. Brother, where did you wander off to? Just a stroll around the agency, I replied. Recently, the guild has been regaining its former vitality, and if this peace could last forever, I'd ask for nothing more. With these two here, this place feels safe, yet the shadows targeting us haven't vanished. Le Xiao remembered the warning. Le Huan, prepare for a long journey. At the tavern tonight, the wine tasted like victory. The bureau head has sharp eyes, the great hero Yen joked. He then turned toward me. I saw your practice. It seems the sword demon has finally awakened within you, hasn't he? It's rare to see someone dance with a blade so joyfully. You used to refuse my advice, preferring your fists, but have you finally realized a sword's necessity? Will you listen to me now? Getting martial wisdom from a bear? I mocked. It was time to escort the empty carriages. Wait, Le Xiao interrupted. I've received much help from you both, and as bureau head, I want to know your stories. Please, tell me everything without feeling any pressure. Starting with the butterfly prince. I was picked up by a noble clan's nurse and raised as a servant, a lowly house slave. My life was unremarkable and quiet, which wasn't entirely bad, until circumstances forced me to flee. I left without repaying the debt I owed to my benefactor. So no matter how late it is, I must find her. A woman, I presume? Yen asked, making me hesitate. Even without my help, she would have survived on her own, because she is incredibly brilliant. If she's so capable, why are you so desperate to find her? Because for the first time, I saw eyes that held compassion for the world despite every hardship, a truly beautiful tale. Then tell me, what is the real reason you master the sword? Because there is a man I must defeat when we inevitably cross paths again. His gaze haunts me, blocking the road I wish to walk. I'll settle it with a duel. Yen laughed heartily. So your obsession with the blade is fueled by such madness, eh? I walk my own path, but seeing the agency's struggle, I'll stay for one last drink. And stop calling me Butterfly Prince. My name is Tu Van Heap. Finally, a name, Yen barked. Now, since we're celebrating, won't you call me Big Brother? I'd rather have bad breath than call you that, I retorted. The old bear fumed. You orphan brat. You'll need to find your parents before I let you call me that anyway. I can't win against his mouth. Yen roared in fury. I watched him leave in silence. As he stumbled away, he truly likes you, Le Xiao noted. And he's searching for someone too. When did you talk to him about that? Le Huan asked as darkness completely swallowed the sky, while Yen grumbled nearby. Why do you always contact me right when I'm drinking? Senior brother, you sound lively, a voice replied. Did you find anything useful out there? I found everything, Yen whispered, his eyes turning cold. I've finally confirmed the target's location. One target moves toward Mount Wudang, while another remains hidden. My 3-year search continues in vain. Deliver this to the Wudang peaks. If my intuition is correct, that artifact will lure them out instantly. The other must be in Anhui province. Keep a constant watch there. We cannot let them vanish again. That youth traveling lately. Is he the legendary master we seek? He exudes the aura of a monster. He is not the one I seek, the Shaolin Fist Master. That boy possesses monstrous strength but wields a blade. Regrettably, he is a wandering soul, unbound by any sect. He might become our greatest nightmare in this chaotic world. Never forget our true purpose. In this era of blood and steel, our enemies are few but deadly. Only when we stand together can we hope to survive the coming storm. It is truly a miracle. Quach Koi Luong has abandoned his post, only admitting defeat when faced with death. What truly happened? He returned to the alliance broken. After a duel that shattered his soul, he has entered seclusion to heal. the great general of the West. His pride and his hands were crushed, leaving him a mere shadow of a warrior. His fingers were pulverized into dust. Who is this hidden master in Henan capable of such utter devastation? Is this reality or a fever dream? What palm technique can shatter the ghost's shadow claws? It shouldn't exist. Quach maintains a deafening silence. He refused any interference until his fall. A warrior's pride or sheer terror? Ignoring the Alliance's warnings was a fatal error. If we are to hunt this ghost, we must move now. Deploy the 3 ghosts of Northern Forest, all 3? One mistake is all it takes to die. A second failure will cost everything. Speaking of mistakes, are you referring to the wedding with the Tai family? I have become the laughingstock of the Alliance. Because of your obsession, can you truly endure this humiliation? Do you really intend to wed that lowly woman? She was the first to teach me the true meaning of vulnerability. Her name is Tung Yen. I will hunt her down and make her pay 10 times over in blood. If that is your resolve, then deploy the 3 ghosts immediately. We cannot afford another oversight. The same negligence that broke Kwak Koi Luong, I trust you will not fail my grand design. Do not disappoint me. I shall remember. Hallmaster Quach, you, and that mysterious master. The stage is set for a massacre. Hanbi gulped down plain water as if it were wine delusional and lost in his own world. His consciousness was fading. Van Heap could only watch in pity. Snap out of it. Why did you drink so much of the chief's brew? Who knows when the next monster will strike? Just like that beast with the iron claws, stay sharp or die. A figure lurked behind the stone walls. Sweat dripped down his panicked face. A young man desperate to stay hidden. It was the beggar Hanbi. His presence sent ripples through the air. Why has that brat returned again? With no other choice, Hanbi began his act, leaving with a string of bitter complaints. This world is cruel. I must wipe out that Blue Dragon Bureau. I can't even enjoy a drink in peace. My stomach is killing me. Avoiding Van Heap's watchful gaze, they met in a desolate, sunless alleyway, a secret meeting in the shadows. Hanbi roared at the panting youth. Where are the others? Why are you trembling like a leaf? Meeting in broad daylight is suicide. Van Heap will surely sniff us out. What is so urgent? The beggar gasped out the dire news. One of the targets is approaching, but they are not alone. The Black Death assassins are on their trail. Hanbi froze in shock. Why them of all people? I waited years for this reunion. And you bring a death sentence with you? The situation is critical. The pursuit is relentless and deadly. I must move now to save them. Death shadows their every step. At the forest's edge, a massacre unfolded. Jiao An fled for her life, surrounded by cold, merciless steel. I just descended the mountain. How did I end up in this hell? 10 days ago, life was simple. She had feasted like a gluttonous queen, surprising everyone with her appetite, a feast fit for a legend. She ignored the judgmental stares. The food was heavenly compared to wild boar, a moment of pure bliss. Suddenly, a drunken wretch stumbled forward, reeking of cheap wine and malice. He reached for her blade. He admired her sword with greedy eyes. This is a magnificent weapon. His mind was clouded by intoxication. The scoundrel whispered filth into her ear. You eat like a starving beggar. Where did you steal this treasure? A warrior like Jiao An would not be cowed. Her voice dripped with icy sarcasm. You've chosen the wrong prey. What a nuisance. This lowly fly is ruining my mood. Jiao An snatched the blade away. Give it back. This isn't a weapon someone like you should touch. If you want to play at being a master, take off those tacky rings. They traded insults until the thug drew a hidden dagger. This brat is begging for death, he snarled in rage. Before he could even strike, her blade flashed like lightning. The physical wound was small, but the humiliation was absolute. His spirit crumbled as his clothes fell away. Jiao An mocked him. Why do you pretend to be so strong? Your hidden nature is truly pathetic. Because of this encounter, she was now caught in a dangerous game of cat and mouse. While trekking through the forest, Jiao An wondered why these wealthy nobles always hired low-tier assassins to do their dirty work. I spent my childhood in the mountains just to see the world in peace. If this misery continues, I'll kill them all. With a cold gaze, she turned to face the threat. Sensing a killing intent nearby, her hand tightened on her hilt. She swung her sword toward the presence, but it was only an old woodcutter passing through the woods nearby. However, the real assassins were closer than she realized. They were heartless enough to use an innocent traveler as a shield. Get away from me, old man, she screamed. There are killers everywhere, but the most dangerous traps are the ones unseen. The kindly old man was actually a scout. He pulled a spiked chain from his bundle of wood and lunged at her. It was a deadly hidden weapon. Jiao An realized his true intent instantly, but she was out of time to dodge. Just as death's shadow loomed over her in this wasteland, Van Heap appeared like a descending god of war. He parried the spear tip with masterful precision. His draw speed was inhuman, a true master of the quick-draw style. A fast sword user? That's a rare sight indeed. Jiao An stared at her savior, her heart racing with sudden surprise. She demanded to know his identity, but the chaos left no room for introductions. The battle was far from over. One assassin charged, only to be neutralized by a single crushing blow. The rest froze, realizing the massive power gap. He's a monster. He took out the leader in one strike. If we stay, we're dead. We must retreat and report. As the survivor fled in terror, he bumped into another formidable presence. A new player had entered the battlefield. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 had arrived, albeit a little late. The two men stared at each other, the air thick with unspoken tension. The assassin from before had been sent flying dozens of meters away. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽 realized Van Heap was already there. "You look suspicious, so I followed," Van Heap said. "Don't be absurd. I'm not foolish enough to be tailed by you. I simply got here first to wait for you." Jiao An watched these two mysterious men argue while she remained alert. "Who are you people?" she demanded. Van Heap turned to leave, telling 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽 to handle the explanation instead. "I'll scout the perimeter while you talk." His strange behavior intrigued her as she watched him disappear into the shadows. "Don't mind him. He's always like that," 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽 explained. Then, he pulled out a pendant and questioned her directly. "Do you carry one of these?" Jiao An gasped, pulling out a matching heirloom. "So, you have one too?" "It's true. What about the man with the soft sword? That friend?" "No. It's complicated. Let me explain from the very beginning." Meanwhile, Van Heap pursued the last survivor. The female assassin pulled a hairpin that transformed into two deadly daggers. She hurled them with lethal speed, but Van Heap caught them effortlessly in midair and threw them right back. In an instant, she was pinned to a tree, wounded and unable to escape. Her path to freedom was officially closed. Van Heap approached her coldly, holding the remaining dagger. "This weapon and that old man's gear. They have a specific mark. Where did you get these?" he demanded, his voice echoing with authority. "Tell me where the creator of these weapons is. Speak! Where is the one who made these hidden tools?" The woman tried to play innocent, her voice trembling with lies. "I don't know what you're talking about." He mentioned the name Trung Lai Tai Din. "Do you see my sword? The man who forged this blade made me a promise. I swore to find his long-lost son for him at any cost. I recognize his craftsmanship in your weapons." He pressed the blade to her throat. "Give me the location of the blacksmith. Tell me where he is and I'll spare you." She just laughed. "That fool will spend his life hammering iron in a cave. So you're the one who kidnapped him? My brothers and my grandfather died by your hand today. You'll pay for this. The Black Iron sect will hunt you to the depths of hell." After her threat, she chose death to protect their secrets. Van Heap was stunned. They were trained to be fanatics. It seems these assassins are more like a twisted family cult, lamenting about family before dying. How tragic. Van Heap returned to 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽, who immediately began to mock his absence. "Oh, you're back from playing hero? Was it really necessary to go that far? This mess isn't even our business." Van Heap demands answers. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽 coolly reveals the girl is actually his hidden junior sister. "I sensed her life force fading and came to rescue her. My name is Jiao An. I appreciate the assist. But do I really look like a common beggar to you? Your senior is a beggar legend, so I had to ask." 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽 sighs. The group returns to the bureau. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽 introduces his junior sister to Lady Lashao. "Jiao An only knows martial arts, not the world's hidden traps. Please guide her." "A pleasure to meet you. Luhuan, take our guest inside to rest immediately. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽 requests she stay permanently. She must accompany us on the coming path." Guided by Luhuan, Jiao An marvels at the sect's legendary and grand architecture. This place truly reflects the fame of the escort bureau. Luhuan introduces himself. "As 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽's sister, you are our VIP. Tell us if anything is lacking. I like you, little brother. From now on, call me your big sister, okay?" Back with 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽, he suggests Jiao An joins the high-stakes escort mission. Her hidden power is immense. She will be a god-tier asset to our team. Lashao agrees instantly. If 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽 vouches for her, her strength is unquestioned. But darkness looms. An assassin organization is hunting Jiao An across the lands. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽 also humiliated a blue dragon genius, making them a target for revenge. Van Heap warns of the danger. The bureau chief shouldn't risk her life unnecessarily. This mission is a death trap. Why must the chief walk into the fire? Lashao shuts him down. Your burdens are my burdens. We stand together. An empty carriage mission without the chief is a hollow and meaningless deception. The Golden Castle's reputation is at stake. I won't hide like a coward. Through this journey, I'll prove the value of the name my father left behind. My father led from the front. As the current chief, I must do the same. I will be the shield for my men. A leader's duty is to sacrifice. Even if I perish, I have no regrets. But I trust you all completely. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 smirks at her resolve. Hey Van Heap, the chief has already decided. An escort must follow orders. The trap is set for our enemies to enter. The legendary empty carriage mission begins. A bait to lure out the shadows. 4 elite warriors set their sights on the dangerous path toward the central plains. Van Heap predicts the enemies will strike as they approach the heart of power. Le Huan must stay behind to guard the base and protect the innocent survivors. Tears fall during the farewell. Gyo-an laughs, teasing the young vice chief. Don't cry, little brother. I'll bring Lashao back to you in one piece. 5 days pass in the deep woods. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 sharpens his focus for battle. The silence is unnerving. Van Heap senses a storm brewing behind the calm trees. Gyo-an is curious. Is it true you only eat, sleep, and train? Why are you asking that now? Miss Gyo-an, stay focused on the road. Miss? I'm older than you. Address me as your big sister right now. Van Heap scoffs. I don't have a sister like you. Stop playing around. Lashao desperately tries to stop the bickering before their cover is blown. Speak up, Chief. Hierarchy matters. We need to set the rankings straight now. If things stay messy, there will be trouble when you marry my senior brother. Lashao turns beet red. Wait. Marriage. Who said anything about marrying 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵? Isn't it obvious? Every time he sees a woman, he starts acting so strange. That jewelry looks just like Miss Tong's. Shouldn't you buy her a gift? Lashao overheard everything. She was stunned. So that's it. Senior wants to show his feelings by being so obvious. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 couldn't stop the girl's mouth in time. He sighed, noticing something ahead, and slammed on the brakes. Those inside sensed danger immediately. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 smirked. Looks like some pests have come to ruin our trip. Blocking their path was a group of grizzled veterans. They looked more like legendary immortals than common thugs. Jiao-an called out from the carriage. Senior, what's happening? She and Van Heap leapt down instantly. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 faced 3 old monsters. You don't look like ordinary assassins, he noted. The leader gripped his dragon spear. The old man laughed, a chilling, raspy sound. Comparing us to mere killers? How insulting. It's been too long since we roamed the lands. Another withered old man joined in. No need for words with these brats. Just hand over the bureau chief. Do that, and we might let you live. Before 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 could react, the withered monster made his move. He moved with godlike speed, aiming for 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵's life. Fortunately, the young master's instincts were sharp enough to parry. Jiao-an and Van Heap realized these weren't ordinary foes. They raised their guard to the absolute limit. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 sensed the withered wood demon's dark energy. This was no ordinary old ghost. He shoved the monster back with raw force. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 launched a horizontal decapitation strike. The old man flicked away like a shadow, forcing 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 to switch his stance. He shifted into a lumberjack's heavy form, swinging his blade like splitting wood. But the demon's speed was superior. You're sharper than you look. The withered wood demon lord had been legendary decades ago. To think they'd meet him here. Realizing his identity was exposed, the old monster let out a blood-curdling roar. A brat like you knows my title? He tapped into his beastly nature, lunging at 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 with unnaturally long limbs. Neither side gained the upper hand. Jiao-an moved to join the fray, but Van Heap held her back. He kept his eyes on the other 2 monsters. Wait until those other 2 move, he warned. For now, let 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 handle this. Our priority is protecting the carriage. The bureau chief is inside. They were targeting Tong Lachao, likely working with the same master who sent the Claw sect. To command such legendary demons, the mastermind behind the scenes must be truly terrifying. The person I'm looking for is definitely pulling the strings. Back in the duel, the demon lord grew excited. How thrilling, the monster cackled. Why would a master like you serve a pathetic, fallen bureau? That little girl? I'll make sure she dies in absolute agony. His words struck a nerve. Hanbi's eyes blazed with a murderous fury. He glared at the disgusting creature and let out a thunderous shout. I called you senior out of respect, but you don't know your place. I'll turn you into a pile of dry firewood. Hanbi rained down a barrage of devastating blows. Yet, the withered wood demon dodged every single strike with ease. At the final blow, the monster flipped behind Hanbi, preparing a lethal sneak attack. He thought victory was his, but suddenly, Van Heap's soft sword sliced the demon clean in half. Are you losing it just because he insulted her? Get a grip. Seeing his comrade fall, the red-haired ghost let out a frustrated growl. Lack, you senile fool. He knew the idiot's excitement would be his end. Now, it was 2 against 3. But these 2 old devils were not to be underestimated. Nguyen Kahao gripped his staff tightly. So, you're the one who broke young Quach's fingers? He muttered with a sinister grin. Both old monsters lunged at Van Heap. Hanbi, protect the carriage. Van Heap barked the order. These freaks will kill the chief the moment they see an opening. Don't let a single soul get past you. The red-haired ghost clashed with Van Heap, testing his strength in a flurry of sparks. Then came Nguyen Kahao's spiked mace. Watch your head, kid. Even with his peerless strength, facing 2 legends at once was a struggle. Zhao An watched with growing dread. She prepared to intervene, but Hanbi stopped her. Van Heap can hold them alone. If we jump in now, they'll use it as a chance to strike Le Xiao. He'll protect her at all costs. Do you really think you can help him more than he can himself? He saved me before, Zhao An insisted. I have to return the favor. She soared through the air like a bird. Watch the carriage, senior. She utilized her signature cloud step technique, surprising even the seasoned killers. The battle reached a fever pitch. One monster lunged at Van Heap's blind spot, but Zhao An arrived just in time. She blocked the lethal blow perfectly. Let's finish this quickly so we can finish our journey. The old devil roared in fury. Out of my way, woman. No, you old fossil. You're the one who needs to move. The clash froze as Zhao An intervened. Van Heap warned her. Fall back and guard the carriage. She snapped, her pride wounded. I'm here to settle a debt, not take orders from you. Their fiery spirit left the old devils in awe. It's been decades since we walked these lands. Yet these bratty children dare to defy us? I'll erase every last one of you. The old man's rage boiled over. These youngsters will make a magnificent feast for us, won't they? Kahao smirked, leveling his blade. Let's take our time savoring their screams of agony. Van Heap just chuckled with chilling calm. My, what a fiery welcome you've prepared for us. Unleashing his hidden sword style, he spoke. Allow me to return the favor with double the interest. Both warriors lunged forward to duel the devils. Kahao's strikes were blinding, but Van Heap dodged. The old devil couldn't help but feel impressed. Not bad for a mere academy brat. Van Heap moved with inhuman, fluid grace. Wait, is that the legendary ghost shadow step technique? Van Heap's lips curled into a cold smirk. Look there. Your partner is getting a lethal lesson. Meanwhile, Zhao An fought with absolute focus. Her blades danced, aiming for Fat Kuai's vitals. But the devil countered with a roar. I'll burn you into nothing but ash and dust. Narrowly evading the blast, her speed was blinding. Fat Kui let out a maniacal, excited laugh. To dodge my strike, you're a true master. I'll enjoy tearing you apart. Suddenly, the air pressure shifted violently. A heavy blade sliced through the battlefield like lightning. Hanbi arrived like a vengeful god. How many more of you pests must I crush today? I'll break your legs so you can't crawl back. His blade swung with terrifying, master-level precision. Every strike resonated with pure, raw power. Slowly, he began to overwhelm the ancient devil. For a split second, Fat Kuai's pride shattered. The crimson flame, losing to a mere boy. Hanbi's final blow erupted with force. It sent the old man crashing through the forest, but a devil never dies so easily. Fat Kui's demonic energy began to spiral out of control. Shockwaves tore through the earth as he roared. Behold my true, soul-scorching power. The crimson flame palm descended like a sun. Hanbi braced himself against the devastating heat. The ground melted as he resisted the impact. Zhao An watched, her heart pounding in terror. The searing heat began to char Hanbi's skin. Zhao An's soul was torn with agonizing guilt. She lunged forward, pouring her soul into one strike. This was their only chance to break the seal. The old devil's attack shattered in frustration. Wudong certainly produces some troublesome monsters. Who are you calling a monster, you old fossil? Hanbi rushed to check her injuries immediately. Lashao stood frozen, her eyes wide. Please, let them survive this nightmare. Her eyes scanned the chaotic battlefield frantically. Then, she saw the horrific burns on Hanbi's hands. Panic surged through her. Great hero Yen. But her appearance became a fatal distraction. Ka Hao's eyes gleamed with a predatory light. He ignored Van Heap. Lunging straight for the girl, death raced toward her in a flash. But a mysterious cloth suddenly coiled around his arm. His killing blow was halted in its tracks. Van Heap had arrived, his eyes burning with rage. He unleashed the devastating blood butterfly dance. A swarm of lethal strikes rained down upon Ka Hao. Blood sprayed as the devil collapsed to his knees. To be cornered by these children. How amusing. But don't think this is the end. Van Heap stepped forward, his presence cold and suffocating. Look at me. I'm your only opponent now. Despite his wounds, the old devil stood back up. He swung his mace with a desperate force, but Van Heap blocked it with effortless ease. How are you still moving after that attack? Taste my blood-tooth needles, you little brat. The old man's speed reached a terrifying peak. Van Heap realized he couldn't win through power alone. He had to strike the devil's hidden weakness. He prepared the lethal reversal of his soft sword. Van Heap strikes. A fluid blade dance forces the old man to block. Suddenly, phantom butterflies explode. Second form, blood butterfly windbreaker unleashed. Caught off guard, the villain loses an arm. Van Heap strikes again. Relentless. Glowing crimson butterflies swarm. The old demon panics. What is this monstrous power? Before he can counter, Van Heap flickers behind him like a vengeful ghost. Blood butterfly. Falling petals. The massive mace shatters like brittle glass. The villain gasps in awe. To think I'd follow the others so soon. With a final roar, he triggers a lethal trap to take them all. Poisonous spikes rain down. Van Heap struggles to deflect the chaotic, deadly storm. Hanbi steps in, shattering the projectiles with a single, decisive sword slash. Threat neutralized. Hanbi curses the old devil's cowardly, parting death trap. Lashao rushes to the injured Jiao An. I'm fine, she whispers weakly. Van Heap sighs. He needs more power. This isn't enough to reach the top. He begins healing her with pure internal energy. A rare, divine healing technique. Jiao An is stunned. Just what kind of monstrous sect do you serve? Hanbi comforts the group. They knew this mission would be a bloodbath. These were the legendary three devils. Now, they must rest and push forward. Suddenly, the rumble of a carriage echoes nearby. Another enemy approaches? Is it the Blue Dragon Agency? The tension reaches a lethal breaking point. Hanbi narrows his eyes. No, this energy is different. It's not them. It's another agency. Perhaps allies drawn by the news of this legendary escort. Hanbi halts them. State your name. We protect the Camthon Agency. A man steps out calmly. So, the rumors of this escort were true. We came from Luoyang after hearing the news. May I see your leader? Before he finishes, Lashao gasps. A face from her past finally appears. It's her uncle, Thuong Quan Tran Kiet. Hanbi stands back in shock. Are you also in Henan? Lashao cries, running toward her kin. It's been 5 long years, he says as Chao Lin weeps with joy. The reunion is bittersweet. But why is the Tu-Hai Agency here now? The Tu-Hai Agency, one of Henan's 3 great pillars of martial power. Hearing of the dangerous mission, they sent reinforcements to protect their own family. Chao Lin is overwhelmed. They've been searching for Lachao's carriage for days. Father said we must bring you home. Will you return with us, sister? Lachao smiles. Of course. I've missed Uncle Tran for far too long. Tran Kiet looks at her. Tell me everything. Who dared trouble our family? The group shares a quiet moment. The weight of the journey finally settles. You've suffered enough, Tran Kiet says. I regret leaving the agency years ago. If I had stayed, I would have shared this heavy burden with you. I'll go meet my brother first. I will fix what has been broken. Lashao beams. With her uncle's return, the agency finally has hope again. But he suggests she stay behind. Let me handle the danger from here. Lashao shakes her head. No, uncle. My brother needs you more. He's struggling alone, caring for our father and the starving flood victims. I have my own warriors now. The Camthon Agency is no longer weak. With our current strength, No one will ever look down on us again. Send my regards to my father in Henan. Master Shangguan saw her resolve and finally relented. If you've decided, I'll trust your judgment. But while I'm away, do not act rashly. Even Zhou Ling spoke up to help. Don't worry, I'll bring sister back to Luoyang safely. Father and brother will be waiting. Meanwhile, Liu Ze sensed a shadow in the city. He realized he was being stalked. Arrogant as ever, he dared the follower to speak. Liu Ze stood his ground. Tell me, are you part of the scum targeting our bureau? The stalker finally spoke. Don't be in such a rush. Tonight, you meet my superior. Liu Ze entered a combat stance. Your superior? The villain's twisted face was finally revealed. I'll give you a head start out of respect. Elsewhere, a dark order was issued. This must be handled in total silence. That stubborn old fool at the bureau won't budge. I wanted a cleaner method, not these shadows. But Daiman insisted the time was right. They successfully abducted the eldest son. They vanished before the first light of dawn. Tai Cheng laughed at the news. As expected of a master from Gansu. Truly impressive. A shame he was sent from the main sect. He won't stay with our unit for long. My lord, I will take the hostage to negotiate. His life hangs by a single thread. He won't dare resist us any longer. But Tai Cheng disagreed with the blatant threats. If we've come this far, end it cleanly. Don't provoke them too much. Just handle it. He grinned maliciously. As you command. Back at the Sea Dragon Security Bureau, Zhou Ling arrived, beaming with joy. We're home. Father is waiting for us. Let me introduce everyone first. Wait here for a moment. It's been so long. It felt good to be back home. But then, she overheard a chilling, secret conversation. A shadow scurried away in a panic. Suddenly, her father, Xiang Kun, noticed her presence. Zhou Ling, you've returned with Le Zhou? Her heart sank at his pale face. His expression turned grim instantly. Liu Ze has vanished without a single trace. He went to prepare for your arrival. But now the entire bureau is in chaos. Why do these tragedies keep happening? Le Zhou then revealed her own dark encounter. The Luoyang ambush was identical. It's the same culprits behind all these attacks. The Hanbi brothers felt the heavy tension. This place is just as cursed as Jin Cheng. Is a security bureau always this penniless? Junior, you still have much to learn. Van Heap stood frozen in silence. Suddenly, an uninvited guest arrived at the gates. Who goes there? Daiman stepped forward with an arrogant smirk. I have your son. The snake had come for Xiang Kun. The father's suspicion flared into immediate rage. Did you do this? Your son attacked my master's successor, Daiman claimed. He's on the brink of death. I'm here to offer you a way out. It was a calculated trap. He was framing the son to destroy their reputation. Rumors alone could crush them. If the father resisted, they'd have an excuse for slaughter. A father would do anything for his child, but he was powerless against such treachery. Xiang Kun looked at Daiman. You want me to surrender the bureau, don't you? Give us the bureau, and your son lives. That's the deal, isn't it? Give me time. I need one day to decide. Daiman left with a final, chilling threat. Choose wisely for your son's sake. Don't lose too much sleep over it. My leader will have a very reasonable request. That night, the father told his daughter. Zhou Ling's blood boiled. My brother would never do such a thing. I'll find the evidence and save him. But her father warned her to stay calm. They want us to strike first. One wrong move, and your brother dies. Desperate to save his family, Tung Kon prepared to surrender to the enemy's demands. A cold voice interrupted. Van Heerp commanded him to demand a formal contract first. Hand over the agreement, but set a neutral location for the exchange. They will agree. Van Heerp insisted on coming along, but Tung Kon hesitated to involve the young man. Picking a leaf, Van Heerp stated he had no interest in playing the hero. However, these thugs were linked to the enemies he was hunting for personal revenge. Plus, he could ensure the boy's safety. With one flash, the leaf was shredded instantly. 100 pieces fell before their eyes. The legendary cloud technique, performed to perfection. He had mastered the sect's ultimate move just by watching it once. A true monster. Lair Chao urged her uncle to trust him. This mysterious youth was their only hope. Without his strength, the bureau was doomed. Tung Kon finally fell into deep silence. Fine. They return tomorrow. Tell me your plan, Van Heerp. I am listening. The plan was simple. Go to the trade and wait for the counterstrike. The next day, the trio arrived at the meeting point with the signed contract. Tung Kon demanded his son be released to his 2 escorts immediately upon delivery. The villains sneered at the sight of only 2 guards. Daimern laughed with arrogance. He claimed the boy was safe and ordered the 2 escorts to follow him. Lei Cho watched from afar. She wondered why 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 chose Zhao Ang as backup. Her speed and navigation were unmatched, perfect for a daring rescue mission with a hostage. But as they walked, the atmosphere shifted. Daimern felt a sudden, paralyzing dread. The hunters had become the prey. To him, these 2 felt like ancient, starving monsters. Terrified, he tried to flee back to his base to warn the squad leader. Suddenly, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 appeared behind him like a ghost. Death was swifter than his scream. 1 strike ended his life. Following the trail, the mountain stronghold was finally revealed. Searching the body, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 found the real contract. 10,000 gold coins. Pure greed. The silence from the negotiators would soon alert the enemy. Time was running out. Luckily, Zhao An moved like the wind. She successfully extracted the boy from his cage. Father and son reunited in a tearful embrace. But the danger was far from over. Zhao An turned to the family. Celebrate later. We must prepare for war right now. Ler Chao was confused. But the warning in Zhao An's eyes was crystal clear. Per 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵's prediction, a massive night raid was coming to wipe them out. The masterminds behind the kidnapping were finally showing their true, bloodthirsty faces. Zhao An prepared to track the source while the young lord explained his nightmare. When the enemy realizes their prize has escaped, they will launch a total assault. Yen Han trembled. If the entire squad attacked, the bureau would be turned to ash. News reached the enemy camp. The negotiators were dead. The leader's rage shook the walls. A bloody battle had occurred at the exchange. Their plan had been seen through completely. Mobilize everyone. We burn the bureau tonight before they can even make a move. But as the order was given, a chilling voice echoed from above the hall. You're too late. I've already found your nest. The predator had arrived first. Bathed in the cold moonlight, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 stood atop the roof like a vengeful god. Panic erupted among the ranks. The leader ordered his men to swarm the intruder. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 descended like a falling star. But the squad leader blocked his path. Steel clashed as the 2 powers collided. A storm of violence was about to explode. Who are you? The leader hissed. Speak, and I might give you a painless death. The leader's pride shattered into rage. His next strike? Pure, unadulterated killing intent. He lunged, but 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 vanished, reappearing behind him. Know the underworld's laws? Shocked, the leader couldn't track his speed. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 moved like a vengeful ghost. The leader's war fan unleashed a gale of force, swinging with desperate, wild power. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 dodged effortlessly. The leader realized he faced a true, hidden monster. Hidden fan blades flew like lethal darts, raining down upon the reborn demon lord. He parried them with bored indifference. The leader's cold sweat began to drip. Despite his youth, his inner power felt like decades of mastery. Who is he? Doesn't matter. Everyone dies by my hand today. The leader roared in desperation. One flick summoned a massive hurricane. Yet 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 stood firm like a mountain. Patience gone, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽𝑵 decided to force the truth from his dying lips. Blood butterfly shadow. Crimson spirits merged into his blade for a lethal strike. Neither gave an inch. A brutal clash of life and death commenced now. The victor was decided. The leader collapsed, blood staining the cold, hard floor. Defeated by a mere brat? He couldn't accept this humiliating, soul-crushing reality. Before his last breath, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽𝑵 loomed over him. Now, answer my question. The price for his life was one name. Where is Tiet Tu Pham hiding? The name was unknown. As suspected, the target remained hidden in the shadows. Leaving the corpse, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑽𝑵 dashed toward the escort agency's dire crisis. Flames of war engulfed the agency. Zhao An was exhausted, cornered, and failing. All hope seemed lost, until a mysterious shadow descended from the dark sky. Back off, the stranger commanded. I'll handle these pathetic insects by myself. Who was this arrogant savior? He sneered, ordering his subordinates to stand down. Yen Dai-heap sensed a terrifying aura. This man was a master of claws. I'll take the lead, the stranger taunted. Let's settle this with a duel. Yen accepted the challenge. With a snap, the enemy's underlings swarmed the others. Cowards! Zhao An cursed as Yen rushed to her side, heart racing. Where are you going? Our duel just started. The enemy blocked his path. Steel clashed again. Yen struggled, realizing he was outmatched by this cruel genius. He wasn't a prodigy. He just needed to protect his precious, fading junior. "Stand up, young master," Zhao Un screamed, her voice trembling with desperate hope. "Focus on me," the enemy mocked. "Today, your entire agency ends in blood." Yen prayed for backup. Why did Van Heap leave them in this chaos? Just then, a cold voice echoed. The weakest loser had finally returned home. "It's over." A thug sneered at Zhao An, raising his blade to kill. Suddenly, Van Heap appeared, severing the thug's arm in one silver flash. "You're late," Zhao An sobbed. The survivors finally breathed a sigh of relief. The enemy commander froze. These kids. Their power was far beyond human limits. Van Heap analyzed the marks. These movements. They belonged to the Thoi clan. Memories of the Tayat family surfaced. This was the legendary Dragon Claw technique. "So, you finally show yourself," Van Heap said, pointing his blade at him. "Though family warrior, use all your strength. I won't let you escape alive." "He knows us," the commander panicked. "I must kill this brat right now." They collided like titans. Yen Dai Heap rejoined the fray with a grin. Looking away, Yen struck hard. The enemy was gasping, his stamina completely gone. Under his cold blade, Van Heap noted that this warrior far surpassed the previous fan-wielding fool. "Start talking," he commanded. "Tell me everything you know about Thoi Tan Mai and the Gansu family." The man stammered in shock, wondering how a supposed loser could possibly know that secret name. Van Heap's eyes burned with ancient rage. "This isn't luck. I'm here to unmask your entire corrupt clan. A simple wager. Win and walk free. Lose, and you surrender every secret you're hiding from me." Watching from the shadows, Yen Dai Heap sensed a terrifying, dark power radiating from Van Heap's soul. Cornered, the enemy agreed. "Fine. If you win, I'll answer anything, though your curiosity is your funeral." With a predatory roar, the assassin lunged forward, aiming his lethal claws straight for the hero's throat. Nursing his wounds, Yen Dai Heap watched in awe, realizing Van Heap was no longer the weakling he knew. Van Heap's whip lashed out like a vengeful dragon, shredding the elite warrior's defenses with ease. The assassin collapsed, unable to even track the movements of the boy he once considered a joke. "Is that all?" Van Heap mocked. The Thoi family's arrogance clearly outweighs their actual combat ability. Terrified by the crushing pressure, the enemy realized he was facing a monster in human skin. His final blood butterfly technique was pulverized instantly by Van Heap's overwhelming, hidden dark aura. "Impossible!" he cried, falling to his knees as his legendary skills failed to land a single hit. Van Heap leaned in, his voice a deathly whisper. "Next time, look at your shattered arms, you fool. While you mocked the weak, I perfected my blade 1,000,000 times in a hell you cannot imagine." The whip tightened like a noose. "Now, reveal the name of the organization pulling your strings." Gasps for air, he confessed. "The Western Heaven Black Tortoise Hall, led by Lord Jia Luat Tuhan." Suddenly, a secret mental transmission echoed in Van Heap's mind, warning him of deeper shadows. "Tell Thoi Tan Mai this. The servant she discarded is coming back to claim his bloody revenge." As the dust settled, the survivors cheered, barely believing they had survived the brutal onslaught. Under the crimson sunset, Zhao An approached the mysterious hero, offering a flask of aged wine. "Relax, it's not poisoned," she teased. "That battle was intense, even for a monster like you." She saw the darkness in his eyes. "You don't need to hide your burdens from me, Van Heap. I'm older and wiser, so let me listen to your troubles over a drink. Just one cup." Meanwhile, Tuang Khan summoned Le Shao, expressing his deep gratitude for her miraculous victory. "Thanks to your bravery, peace has finally returned to our shipping agency." The old man sighed. He asked where she found such masters. "They found me when I had absolutely nothing left," she replied. Tuang Khan looked grave. "Be careful. Men with that much power always harbor dangerous, hidden agendas. I fear your kindness might lead you into a trap set by these mysterious high-level warriors." Le Shao smiled sadly. "It is strange that legends would help a penniless bureau like ours. But they bled for us without asking for a single coin when the world had turned its back. I will trust them until the end of our journey, for they are my only true allies. From east to west, they risk their lives for us. They cannot be the villains you fear." Tuang Khan nodded. If your heart trusts them, then I shall place my faith in them as well. My current plan is simple. Rest and recover before the next inevitable storm arrives." She laughed. She requested his wisdom for her future travels, intending to stay and learn for a while. Touched by her newfound maturity, the old master promised to guide her toward her destiny. "Ask me anything, anytime. I am honored to help the woman you have finally become." Back at the camp, Zhao An smirked. "So, is that serious face because of a girl you lost?" Van Heap scoffed, hiding his true mission behind a mask of cold, silent indifference. Zhao An remembered the warning. Van Heap is a man whose past is a lethal secret. His eyes changed the moment the Gansu family was mentioned. He isn't just a wanderer. Despite her vast spy network, Van Heap's true identity remained a terrifying and unsolvable mystery. Neither the beggar's sect nor the martial world knew his origin. To Zhao An, this nameless warrior was a complete enigma. Her senior shook his head. A new shadow had emerged in Gansu province. They call themselves the Flying Dragon Pavilion. Born from the union of the Shui and Chu clans, it was no surprise that such powerhouses would attract countless masters. We must uncover the link between him and that man. Why did he react with such intense, lethal killing intent? Their connection to the Gansu clans is crystal clear. We need to determine if they are allies or sworn enemies. Zhao An burned with curiosity. Once this journey ended, she planned to investigate every detail like a relentless shadow. "Is it not frustrating to only know your name?" Van Heap merely scoffed, his eyes cold. "Does my past even matter? Since childhood, I was raised as a mere servant in a noble house, a weakling destined for a life of misery. When I chose to leave, I retreated to the mountains to sharpen my blade." Zhao An gasped, sensing a hidden master. "Who taught you such peerless martial arts? Your swordsmanship is unlike anything the world has ever seen. It is divine." Van Heap narrowed his eyes. He saw through her facade instantly. She was desperately digging for his hidden ancestral roots. Clearly, she was acting on orders. He wondered how a true demon lord would handle such a pathetic interrogation attempt. Not everyone shares the same path. She was struggling to grasp the terrifying significance behind his every calculated move. Her suspicion was logical. After all, the ancient sword style he wielded defied the very laws of martial logic. "My goal is simple. I seek absolute freedom and the path to reclaiming the primordial power I once possessed. My limits remain unknown even to myself. My future is a storm that will swallow this entire martial world whole. I will keep swinging my blade until I reach the apex. Perhaps changing fate, just as he did, is not bad." Zhao An fell silent. "Senior, I understand your concern, but Van Heap is no ordinary troublemaker. He is something more. He has saved us countless times." She poured him a cup of wine, a gesture of respect toward his overwhelming strength. "Drink this, and let there be no secrets between us." He smirked, mocking her. The one pouring is hardly trustworthy. Zhao An relaxed her guard. For now, trusting this mysterious powerhouse was their only choice. But then, trouble arrived. 5 assassins hunted the Neep siblings like wolves. Fu Xin glared back. These persistent bastards just would not give up. 5 days of relentless pursuit had left them drained. They barely had a moment to breathe before the enemy closed in. They caught up so fast. Fu Huang trembled in terror. Fu Xin stepped forward, shielding her with his very life. "Do not be afraid. I will protect you," the villain sneered. "You rats certainly have spirit for such weaklings. Are you from the Flying Dragon Pavilion?" The man laughed coldly. "Blame your own pathetic weakness for your impending deaths." Fu Deng gritted her teeth in despair. Was their struggle futile? Suddenly, the extreme demon appeared out of thin air. "So, you are the Flying Dragon Trash? Speak! Who is your sect leader? If you refuse, I will claim lives." Within seconds, the assassins were paralyzed by his suffocating aura. The extreme demon stepped closer, radiating pure, ancient malice. "I will ask one last time. Who rules you?" A henchman shivered, his spirit broken by the sheer pressure. "We only follow orders. Only the Lord of Virtue and the Master of Ink have ever seen his face." "Virtue and ink?" the extreme demon mused. "Interesting. So the Flying Dragon Pavilion is more than just a simple alliance. It seems the Choi and Shui clans have merged their dark ambitions. But why hunt these children? What is your goal? Never mind. I will extract the truth from someone more important." "Scram! If I see your faces again, you die." Fu Xin bowed in deep gratitude. We owe you our lives, young hero. Thank you for your righteous intervention today. Do not mention it, but you need to find a safe haven immediately. This storm is far from over. I am 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 Sin of the Gansu 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗𝑛 clan. The extreme demon looked at them, his expression unreadable and cold. Are you hungry? One rabbit won't feed us all. Let us find a nearby inn before the night falls. Fu Deng watched him closely. He saved them, yet an oppressive, terrifying aura clung to him like a dark shroud. The silence was suffocating, heavy with unspoken power. Finally, Fu Huang gathered her courage to speak to their mysterious savior. Do you know those monsters from the pavilion? He replied calmly. I have no ties to them, only a score. I am hunting them. If you know anything about their organization, tell me everything. Spare no details. Since you saved us, I will tell you the truth. It began when the shadows of Gansu started to move. The Choi and Shui clans announced their unholy union, birthing the Flying Dragon Pavilion. They sought total dominance over everything. They began forcing other clans to submit. Our 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 family was their next target for a forced alliance. We refused their offer, so they slaughtered my entire clan without mercy. My family fell, leaving only my sisters and me to flee. We sought refuge in Xining, but the shadows of our enemies followed. Why would a top-tier clan target us? What do they truly want? The mysterious traveler, the main character, prepares for his next journey. Our paths align toward the temple. May we travel together? She asked. Silence fell until he sensed footsteps. The hunters have arrived, he whispered. Leave now. Act natural so the innocent aren't caught in the crossfire. We moved through the back alleys, guided by his cold, sharp instincts. Where are we going? She panicked. To where they reveal themselves, he replied. The enemy leader blocked our path. Found you. Today, you all die. They confirmed our identity. The thugs drew their weapons with murderous intent. Using claw techniques? You're just trash from the Thoi family, he mocked. The leader sneered. 1 man against 30? You're dead, kid. The main character's eyes turned cold. You've made a fatal mistake today. He unleashed his power. Gansu Thoi clan? I'll erase you all here. The leader trembled. Wait. What is that overwhelming dark energy? 1 strike was enough. The arrogant leader collapsed like a broken doll. I warned you once. If you approached us again, I'd take your head. The Thoi clan is full of cowards who don't deserve any mercy. His killing intent was suffocating. Was he truly a human or a monster? No one leaves this place alive, he declared, his aura exploding outward. He performed a forbidden art. Her eyes widened in absolute shock and terror. That stance. It was the signature move of the legendary Supreme Demon. Meanwhile, the master struggled to rebuild the agency without any gold. What troubles you? Asked the main character, appearing out of thin air. I've come to settle things, he said, handing over a mysterious envelope. Tell the head not to worry. Everything has been taken care of. He pulled out a document. Is this a bank check for gold? 10,000 gold pieces. A fortune to rebuild their fallen legacy. Consider it a loan. Rebuild the agency and pay it back later. This was the key to restoring the prestige of the Cam Thon clan. Where did you get this? The main character smiled. From dead men. They won't need it in the afterlife. Let's use it for something better. The master was speechless. This young man's greatness was beyond imagination. He was already planning 10 steps ahead to revive the agency's glory. Send this to the chief, he said, before vanishing into the night. Now, the debt was gone. The path to the top was clear. Days later, the 80-year-old patriarch's birthday feast began in Luoyang. Eat your fill, she cheered. The main character sat in quiet contemplation. Thank you for everything. They toasted, but his focus was elsewhere. Amidst the celebration, his sharp eyes scanned the crowded banquet hall. Do you see them? He asked. Those men are watching us like prey. A strange, heavy aura filled the air. These weren't ordinary guests. Assassins. 3 of them. The main character prepared to strike first. Where did these pests come from? It seems our pursuers are coming from multiple directions now. Is it the Western Alliance or those rats from the Black House who've been hiding? Something's wrong. If they were after Sister Lishao, they would have ambushed us at the crossroads. Not in a place like this. Last time, their civilian disguises nearly killed me. Those Black House bastards. We strike first. Van Heap suggests a bait-and-switch strategy to force them into the light. If they target the junior sister, their Black House. Otherwise, they belong to the Western Alliance. Sect leader, stand back. Zhao An can't stand these leeches anymore. I'll slaughter every last one. Suddenly, Van Heap notices a strange crest on their robes. A mark he's seen once before. He blocks Zhao An's blade just in time. Stop. These aren't your typical martial artists. Zhao An fumes with rage. Who are you, and why have you been stalking our every move? A mysterious woman finally speaks up. Can we move to a safer location? I'll explain everything there. I am Tang Lu Hoa from the Sichuan Tang clan, masters of medicine and deadly toxins. One drop of our poison kills hundreds. We can send any foe to hell with a needle. While we specialize in hidden weapons and death, our divine antidotes are legendary across the land. Han Bi remains suspicious. Why would the prestigious Tang clan have their sights set on us? We aren't targeting you. We're actually hunting the Black House and following the rumors of their movements. Le Xiao asks bluntly. So you plan to follow us until we inevitably clash with those villains? Lu Hoa avoids her gaze. I apologize, but for now, that is indeed the situation. Van Heap draws his sword, his eyes sharp. Can you take a look at this blade? Lu Hoa gasps in shock. That soft sword. It's identical to the hidden weapon I dropped earlier. They share the same craftsmanship. Could they have been made by the same person? Lu Hoa is desperate. Do you know him? How can I meet him? Van Heap admits he's also searching for the man. If we cooperate, we can find him together. Lu Hoa sighs, deciding to reveal her secret. Promise me you won't tell a soul. What I'm about to share is my family's deepest regret. My clan has owned an incomplete hidden weapon for generations. It has been our long-held dream to finish it. But hope flickered when I saw the weapons used by the Black House recently. If the same master created those, he can finally resolve our family's centuries-old sorrow. The man who forged those deadly tools is none other than a master named Zhongli Taiding. Zhao An is stunned. So you're searching for the man who provides weapons to the Black House? Yes. If it's him, he could become the most vital figure in our Sichuan Tang clan. Le Xiao asks about their next move. Luo admits that following them might be a nuisance. Zhao An surprises everyone. Just join us then. If this is your clan's lifelong wish, let's go. Let's get a carriage and travel together. Le Xiao agrees, thinking this is better than being stalked. But Han Bi is confused. Shouldn't you be at the Namgung family banquet? It's a major event. Lu Hoa nods. This mission is more important. My uncle and grandfather are already attending there. The clan leader and great elder? For a simple party? That's an incredible amount of power in one place. It's no ordinary party. They are meeting to discuss a new sect called the Flying Dragon Gate, formed by the union of the Tie and Chu families. Van Heap's face darkens at the news. That woman, Tho Tan Mai. She's finally seized complete control over the entire Tiet family legacy. Elsewhere, by a dim fire, a scruffy, broken man sits alone until a voice calls out. It's Doc Nai Kan, a leader of the Black House. Is the thunderbolt finished yet? A weapon of mass destruction. A single bolt can annihilate a target with overwhelming explosive power. It uses explosive tips to create a devastating impact. Such a masterpiece requires a true expert's hand. This is why Doc Nai Kan keeps him imprisoned. The once legendary blacksmith now lives as a pathetic captive. A master jailer confined him here. To them, he was just a pathetic loser hidden within the academy. Ignoring the weapon report, the craftsman asks only about Kim Lan. Doc hides the bloody truth. Claiming she is on another mission, the villain seizes the newly crafted hidden weapons instead. He praises the prisoner's work, claiming his master eagerly awaits the completed lightning bolt weapon. The captive falls silent, then coldly declares he needs 10 days to perfect the ultimate weapon. Doc grins with malice, imagining himself finally crushing Van Heap once the weapon is ready. As the official gloats, a terrifying killing intent flickers across the prisoner's pale, exhausted face. Meanwhile, a freezing wind sweeps through the Zihai Bureau as two mysterious figures arrive. Clad in identical robes, the female warrior introduces herself as Tang Lu Hua of the Sichuan clan. Accompanied by Tang Qixio, they meet the bureau head, who welcomes these legendary guests warmly. Meeting core members of the Sichuan Tang clan face-to-face was beyond the head's wildest expectations. Deputy Lu Trak greets them, claiming their presence heralds great fortune for the escort bureau's future. After brief formalities, they head inside, but Liu Hua pulls Van Heap aside for a private word. She requests a moment of his time. isolating him from the group to discuss something vital. Without hesitation, she asks if 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 knows the truth about Black Sand's secret prisoner. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗 calmly reveals he only holds this sword to repay a debt to an old master. He promised to honor that old man's request. Liu Hua wonders if he truly intends to save him. She challenges him, asking what he'd do if the Tang clan forcibly took the prisoner first. He questions her resolve. She admits she would do anything to protect the interests of her clan. Silence falls until 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗 smirks, claiming he doesn't believe she's that kind of cold person. Stunned, she demands to know how he can speak of her character with such absolute certainty. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗 explains that throughout his life, he has mastered the art of reading a person's soul. He has witnessed eyes filled with despair, greed, and fear, seeing right through their hidden vulnerabilities. In her gaze, he sees only a burning desire for honor mixed with a lingering anxiety. He knows she is cautious, but warns that if she acts, he must fulfill his own vow. If conflict arises, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗 will stop at nothing to ensure his sacred promise remains unbroken. Seeing the unshakable sincerity in his eyes, she realizes that deception against this man is futile. She speaks honestly, asking if he would let the target go if they chose to follow her. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗 agrees, provided she plays fair and doesn't resort to underhanded tricks to steal him. Grateful for his mercy, she bows deeply, promising to remember this favor as they rejoin others. They return to the group, where everyone eagerly invites them to join the festive gathering. Zhao An is dying of curiosity, yet her unwavering trust in 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗 keeps her suspicion away. She playfully pours wine for Liu Hua, who smiles at how much faith Zhao An has in him. She boasts that 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗 will eventually make the Forbidden City Escort Bureau famous across the lands. Liu Hua questions this absolute faith, but Zhao An simply views him as a reliable comrade. The next morning, a biting frost awakens Zhao An, who shivers from the lingering wine. Blaming her hangover, she notices a massive crowd of volunteers gathering for a dangerous mission. Within the bustle, she spots 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗 assisting Liu Hua, though his appearance seems strangely out of character. He is wearing an unfamiliar outfit, leaving Zhao An completely baffled about what he is planning. Meanwhile, Doc tests his lethal new weapon as a spy reports a successful infiltration into the enemy. A wicked grin spreads across Doc's face as he declares that the bloody hunt has finally begun. During a frigid night patrol, Yen Hanbi notices Zhao An's unusually tense and distracted behavior. She reveals that 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗 is plotting something secretive with the Tang sisters deep inside. He has kept them at a distance, refusing to share even a single detail of his strategy. Worse, he's demanding they help set traps for Black Sand, a move that seems recklessly suicidal. Zhao An vows to confront him and uncover the truth behind his hidden game immediately. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗's voice cut through the air. He had clearly overheard their gossip and demanded to know what they were whispering about. He approached them, his gaze piercing. "Why are you gathered here? I gave orders to act as bait, not to loiter." Zhao An stammered, claiming this was a strategy to lure out the Haksa, a poor excuse for defying orders. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗 knew the Haksa were formidable foes. Suddenly, a strange, sickening fragrance began to drift through the atmosphere. It was the 1,000-mile scent. Zhao An's plan had actually worked. The predators had finally caught the scent of the trap. The Haksa were already closing in. Sensing the murderous intent, Yen Hanbi reached for her blade with icy resolve. She asked which target Zhao An wanted. Claiming the left for herself, she left the right side to her comrade. Chaos erupted. Haksa assassins lunged at Hanbi, only to be met by a single, devastating stroke of her blade. On the other side, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗 moved like a shadow, annihilating the enemies. Everything was proceeding exactly as he envisioned. With the battle under control, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗 decided to unleash a new technique. His whip struck like a thunderclap, sending foes flying. Hanbi watched in awe. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗's growth was terrifying, but there was no time for praise as the intensity escalated. She recognized the attackers as their former mercenaries. Shocked, she wondered if 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗 had anticipated this betrayal all along. Mid-sentence, 3 spears whistled through the air toward 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗. The atmosphere turned heavy with the smell of death. The ground exploded upon impact. The sudden burst of fire caught everyone off guard, leaving them staring in utter disbelief. Zhao An called out in worry, but a sinister, distorted voice interrupted. It was Doc Nai Kan, the shadow leader. He mocked 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗 for surviving his opening move. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗 narrowed his eyes, realizing he was facing the Haksa commander. The enemy's weapons were erratic and dangerous. Van Heap asked coldly if he was indeed the infamous Doc Nai Can. The villain didn't deny it. He taunted with a sneer. Without a word, Van Heap lunged forward like a starving predator. Doc Nai Can blocked with lightning arrows, launching a counter volley. Yet, Van Heap's movements were fluid, cutting through the assault effortlessly. The villain's eyes widened in horror. Van Heap's strike connected, leaving a deep, burning wound across Doc Nai Can's chest. Panicked, the villain retreated, staring at the strange black energy oozing from his wound. What kind of cursed power was this? As Van Heap closed the distance, the villain detonated a smoke bomb. When the haze cleared, his cowardice had vanished him. Van Heap barked orders for 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 to search the area. He wouldn't wait. He sprinted after the retreating shadow alone. He predicted the villain's path. Doc Nai Can wasn't just fleeing, he was heading for the mansion to seize a hostage. Van Heap wouldn't allow it. He would stop this vermin at any cost, his hidden power beginning to churn within. Doc Nai Can reached the Duong sisters, his hand outstretched. But before he could act, Van Heap appeared like a ghost. Cornered and desperate, the villain pulled out a secret weapon forged by a dark prisoner. A tool of absolute destruction. He loaded an explosive core into his crossbow, aiming to wipe out everyone in one final, desperate act of madness. Van Heap stood his ground, eyes blazing. Doc Nai Can screamed that no one would leave this place in one piece. "You arrogant brat. I will end you first for the humiliation you caused Hacksaw." His face was contorted with rage. Driven insane by his defeat, the villain prepared to fire. He wanted to see everyone burn in his final moment. A thunderous sound shook the mansion. But it wasn't an explosion. It was a strike so fast, the eye couldn't follow. The impact was so powerful it severed the villain's arm clean off. The crossbow fell, still gripped by a dead hand. Everyone stood frozen. Doc Nai Can collapsed, his body convulsing in shock. This wasn't the ultimate weapon he was promised. He realized the truth. The man who gave him the weapon knew of Kim Lan's death and meant to kill him too. Pure fury consumed him as his plans crumbled. He had been played like a fiddle by his own supposed allies. Losing his arm to his own weapon was the ultimate disgrace. He glared at Van Heap, letting out a primal scream. Van Heap didn't offer mercy. He surged forward, his blade carving a lethal arc through the pathetic, broken villain. Seeing their leader fallen, the remaining Hacksaw fled into the forest. They cursed the name of the man called Din. "That bastard Din gave us a self-destructing weapon." They swore blood vengeance on the man who had betrayed them. Silence fell. Zhao An finally approached Van Heap. "Did you plan all of this? How could you have known?" She demanded the truth. How did he identify the spies so easily? Her curiosity was burning brighter than the battlefield. Van Heap shared a silent, knowing look with Duong Luhoa. She nodded, understanding it was time to reveal the secret. She spoke up, explaining that the Duong family never lost sight of the Hacksaw. They were one step ahead. They had known from the start that the mercenaries were Hacksaw infiltrators. The hunters had become the prey today. Tu Van Heap and the Tang Heirs squad launched a brilliant plan, deploying a secret tracking method. They utilized the legendary 1,000-mile scent and soul-shattering snow, a toxin that no one could escape. The mercenaries signed their death warrants, with pens dipped in this poison, unaware of the trap. The Hacksaw leaders carried small doses for immunity, but it only made the soul-shattering venom easier to detect. As the ink touched paper, a spectral glow appeared, exposing the enemy's path to the Tang family. Tang Luhoa expertly marked the Hacksaw assassins with the tracking scent, making the hunt effortless. Everyone became bait in this high-stakes game, though Luhoa felt a deep guilt for the danger. She apologized to the group, but this genius tactic allowed them to sense the approaching Hacksaw killers. Even the silent 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 began to understand the depth of this strategy as the plan unfolded. With the explanation complete, Van Heap declared it was time to hunt the survivors back to their stronghold. A faint, eerie light shimmered in the distance. The mark of the 1,000-mile scent led the way. Seeing the trail clearly, Tang Luhoa alerted everyone that the targets were fleeing 5 miles away. Van Heap commanded an immediate pursuit, asking Luhoa if she could keep up with his pace. Though the distance was short, the tracking required her expertise. Luhoa nodded, ready for battle. Leaving the cleanup to the others, the two warriors vanished into the shadows, following the enemy's scent. As dawn broke, they relentlessly tracked the Hacksaw clan, the smell of the poison growing ever stronger. The trail was hot. Van Heap knew they were close, but wondered if the enemy had noticed. Luhoa disagreed. confident in her family's secret craft. Only a Tang could ever trace this fragrance. However, time was running out. If the Haksa realized their leader's death, Tai Din would be executed. They had to strike like lightning and rescue him before the assassins could spill his blood. The Haksa are a prideful cult. They would do anything to protect their dark reputation from shame. If they weren't fast enough, Tai Din's life would be forfeited to appease the organization's wounded pride. Suddenly, Van Heep stopped, telling Liu Hoa to return home as she had reached her limit. She refused, determined to see it through after spending countless nights perfecting this medicinal poison. Van Heep reassured her, promising he wouldn't let the person she cherished most slip away. He could feel the sincerity of her heart, a bond that fueled his drive to finish this. Trusting his overwhelming strength, she handed him a vial to sharpen his senses for the final hunt. She placed her last hope in Van Heep, pleading with him to save Tai Din from darkness. Inside the hideout, a bald thug brutally tortured Tai Din for his perceived betrayal and sabotage. Tai Din only laughed, mocking their desperation, knowing his hidden trump card had finally been played. Enraged, the thug threatened to kill him, but Tai Din fearlessly dared the villain to finish it. The mercenary sneered, promising a slow, agonizing death rather than a quick release for the traitor. Suddenly, a crimson streak of light tore through the air, striking before the villain could even react. The executioner fell dead instantly, leaving Tai Din in shock as Van Heep stepped from the shadows. Van Heep gazed down, confirming the identity of the man before showing him a legendary hidden blade. "I am here to fulfill a promise to your father," he said. "It is time to go." But Tai Din was crushed by shame, feeling unworthy of his father after abandoning him for love. He felt despicable for his past choices, but Van Heep's sword moved with blinding speed and precision. The chains shattered instantly. Van Heep reminded him that everyone makes mistakes, but only cowards hide. He reached out a hand, a rare smile appearing. "You still have a chance to fix everything." The father's heart broke as he saw his son, crying out in a voice filled with regret. Tai Din trembled, finally calling out to his father as they embraced in a tearful reunion. "Why did you take so long to come home?" The father wept as Tai Din begged forgiveness. Van Heep watched in silence, satisfied that his debt for the legendary sword was finally repaid. Tang Liu Hoa stood by his side, whispering that the mission was finally a complete success. Heep's heart weighed heavy. He asked Liu Hua why she came here. Her gaze was distant and filled with worry. "Forgive me," the old man began, "for disrupting such a precious reunion." He bowed low in sincere apology. Approaching Yun Heap privately, he asked, "Must you leave so soon? How can I ever repay such a grand favor?" Yun Heap replied respectfully, "The moment you gave me that blade, saving your son became my sworn duty." The elder thanked him deeply, then glanced at Liu Hua. "And who might this noble young lady be?" "I am Tang Liu Hua, of the Sichuan Tang clan." The elder gasped. Their mastery of poisons was legendary. Why would a high-born Tang lady visit such a humble home? Seeing her hesitation, Yun Heap quickly intervened. "This lady played a vital role in the rescue," Heap explained. The elder smiled warmly, offering his gratitude once more. Liu Hua bowed politely. "I only did what was necessary." Then, her expression turned serious. "Sir, we must discuss your son." She revealed everything, the truth behind the forbidden hidden weapons, and the dark trail left by the Black Shadow sect. Drawn by rumors of Tai Din's genius, they had searched everywhere. She presented a rare treasure for the elder to see. Suspicion flickered in the old man's eyes. Did the Tang clan only want to exploit his son's divine blacksmithing talent? Yun Heap spoke up. "We will treat him as nobility. His safety is our absolute priority." Liu Hua nodded firmly. "The Tang clan will protect him with our lives, provided he agrees to join us." "He will never be hindered," she promised. Heap added, "Sir, your son's talent is too great to remain hidden. Enemies will always hunt a genius like him. He cannot survive this world alone in the shadows forever. Entrusting him to a powerful ally is the only way." The elder sighed. "I understand, but the choice is his. If they respected his craft and kept him safe, it was a dream." Yet, Tai Din stood there in sorrow. "I have brought only shame to my father," Tai Din whispered, his heart heavy with the weight of past failures. "This time, I will follow my father's path. I cannot afford to make another mistake that costs us everything." Liu Hua's eyes softened. "I am a smith too. I know how rare and precious your gift truly is. Would you grant us the honor of working alongside such a legendary talent?" Her voice was filled with respect. The elder finally nodded. If you promise your assessment of him will never waver, then take him with you. Tai Din gripped his father's hand. Thank you for believing in me. Heap then stepped forward to finalize the pact. We will protect him with all we have, Heap vowed. He realized Liu Hua truly cared for the smith's future. The decision was made. Heap turned to depart, but a voice called out, stopping him in his tracks. Big brother, are you leaving? Tai Din asked desperately. Heap paused. Is there something else you need to say? I thought I was a monster, Tai Din confessed. A man who only knew how to strike cold, hard iron. But when you shattered my chains, I was reborn. You gave me back my humanity and my life. Overcome with emotion, Liu Hua suggested a sacred bond. Tai Din wishes to become your sworn brother. Yun Heap. Heap hesitated. A sworn brother? He snapped back. Why would you want to follow a nameless wanderer like me? You have a bright future. Tying yourself to me will bring you nothing but trouble and blood. The elder spoke softly. My son feels a bond deeper than blood with you. Please, accept his humble request. Memories flashed through Heap's mind, voices from his past, warning him against the weakness of emotional bonds. Bonds are chains that weaken the strong, his mentor had said. They are a burden to the truly free. Was his help a result of his freedom, or a foolish mistake? Heap stared at the boy's pleading eyes. After a long silence, Heap spoke. Tai Din held onto his sleeve, begging for a place by his side. I remember how you looked after me, Tai Din said. Even when I thought you were just using me. I thought it was all for Lady Tungyen. I knew I had feelings for her. But then, Heap suddenly drew his sword. The cold steel shimmered. Zhongli Tai Din, look at this blade. Because you forged this soft sword, my blood-slaying technique is finally perfect. This is our shared destiny. If fate decreed I save you with your own creation, then so be it. He reached out his hand. They clasped arms as brothers. Liu Hua watched in awe. From today, you are my true blood brother. Whoever dares to harm a hair on your head will face my wrath. I will send them to hell. Later, they reached the hidden manor. Their master looked upon the gates. The Grand Patriarch awaits within. The Sichuan Tang clan's gate swings open. May I enter? Liu Hua greets the legendary elders with respect. I am Tang Wending, the family patriarch. And I am Tianyi, the current head of the Tang clan. Liu Hua reports the situation. If it's the Tang family, they likely used poison to coerce the court. The young miss chose honor over schemes. I didn't want to interfere, but now my brother is involved. If they won't listen to words, I'll take action. The young lady will find her own way soon. In another room, Elder Zhao speaks to Wending. Li Hua says you've been a massive help to us. Where exactly is your hometown, young man? Yun Hyop wonders why he's being questioned so suddenly. The future son-in-law? The elder smiles. Our granddaughter and Zhongli are fated to be together. That makes him family. Besides, your aura feels like it belongs to an ancient, legendary bloodline. Am I right? The MC realizes the patriarch is probing for his hidden secrets. My home isn't anything special. The elder strokes his beard, sensing a hidden dragon before him. Your energy suggests a profound background. To avoid suspicion, the MC decides to spin a clever lie. My sect is the Tai Yin Gate. We follow the ancient heritage of the lunar breathing scripture. The Tai Yin sect? And who is the master of such a prestigious place? Have you heard of the great deity, the Tai Yi Spirit King? Wending pauses, searching his memories. I might have heard of him, or maybe not. The MC laughs internally. He just made it up. Technically, I am my own master. Calling my past self master isn't such a bad idea anyway. But tell me, young master. Wending interrupts his thoughts with a sharp, piercing gaze. I'm curious about this lunar scripture. Would you honor me with a test of your strength? So this was his goal all along. A duel? This old man's persistence is giving me a headache. Fine. What do I need to do? They head to a forest to unleash their internal power. Wending prepares the test. He places a massive iron sphere right in front of Yun Hyop. If you can push this, I can judge your true power. Move this sphere to prove your worth. Push it halfway to the mark, then slowly withdraw. The elder watches, ready to gauge the boy's soul. I'm ready. Let's begin. The MC steps forward, his confidence radiating like a true demon lord. He focuses every fiber of his being. A test of internal force? This is getting interesting. Measuring my strength against a Tang patriarch is a perfect chance. Time to show the power he's accumulated. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 pushes back with all his might. Tianyi watches from the sidelines, his heart racing with anxiety. Is my father actually being pushed back? 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 feels his own energy beginning to waver and scatter. I've never felt such a mysterious energy before. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑗's power is overwhelming and completely unique. It's refined and elegant, yet terrifyingly strong. I sense a massive dark aura, but it's strangely pure. The two masters clash in a silent battle of wills. The MC's eyes burn with legendary determination. His power is immense, but lacks any malice. Shall we try one more time? The MC asks calmly. The spectators are frozen in total shock. Oh no, father is pulling back his strength. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 withdraws, likely planning a hidden countermove. The air around them trembles from the massive pressure. Their eyes widen in disbelief. Even the patriarch doesn't understand the phenomenon occurring before him. The MC's energy completely neutralized the heavy iron sphere. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 looks at his hands, stunned. I was prepared for a devastating impact, and yet, he trails off, speechless at the boy's talent. What kind of power is this? Later that night, they share a meal in the palace. Did the Tai Yi Spirit King teach you the final breath? The MC remains perfectly composed. Why? Do I still seem lacking to you? If you've mastered that, you've inherited the sect's ultimate secret. I have. But the MC knows the deadly truth behind the technique's final stage. There is a fatal side effect. A side effect? What could possibly be so dangerous? It grants incredible power, but it fills the body with lethal poison. The MC's voice grows cold. Unless you can neutralize the toxins, mastering it means certain death. The atmosphere turns deathly silent. MC smirks. He's falling for it. He asks why the master hid. Master Taiyi is in seclusion. The MC lowers his voice, acting tragic. The poison's backlash is unbearable. Tang's heart aches with pity. But, the MC whispers, Master gave me one final, secret mission. What mission? Tang asks. MC sighs. Healing pills are just temporary. He needs an artifact to suppress the venom constantly, without fail. MC thinks, you pressured me, so here's a riddle you can't solve. The mythical anti-poison bead is gone. It's nothing but a legend. Only the white warming jade can save him now. It's our last hope. Tang freezes. The white warming jade? Our clan's most sacred treasure? How could this brat know about our secret heirloom? Tang's mind races. MC laughs internally. Keep reacting like that. This performance is perfect. Information is power. Interrogating that fool 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 was worth the effort. MC sighs deeply. But such a rare gem. It's impossible to find. Even with luck, who would part with a treasure of the gods? I'll fail him. I can never return to my master like this. Tang chuckles. You carry a heavy burden, boy. I understand your pain. I feel faint. I'll walk a while to clear my head. Excuse me. MC watches him leave. Tricking this innocent old man is almost too easy. The white warming jade is within reach. Now, I just wait for the hook. Midnight. A secret letter is unrolled. The 10 great agencies have collapsed. New powers like the heavenly dragon are devouring everything in their path. They seize territory through shadow tactics, leaving no evidence behind. On the surface, they look legitimate. It's a perfect, deadly facade. Their internal operations seem normal. That's what makes them so terrifying. The elder trembles. The methods and timing. They're all too identical. A single mastermind must be orchestrating this from the depths of hell. The next scroll reveals the truth about the La family's mysterious guards. One is the Saber Ghost. The other two? Shadows with no names. 10 elite assassins attacked. Not a single one survived the night. They were slaughtered effortlessly by these 2 mysterious rookie guards. Then came the 3 devils of the northern forest. Legendary monsters. They were erased. All 3 devils fell before these nameless warriors. The northern devils. Defeated? Who are these monsters hiding in plain sight? The swordsman is an enigma. Even the great agencies are now trembling. Identity, unknown. We are chasing ghosts. We need more information, now. They've reached Luoyang. A massive battle just shattered the Purple Sea Agency. These 3 guards annihilated the enemy. They are a force of nature. The Flying Horse Agency's expansion? It was stopped dead in its tracks. These guards are unrivaled. Is this why the master is so arrogant? I sense a monstrous power within that boy. It's absolutely chilling. He's no ordinary guard. Just what kind of monster is he, really? I've made my choice. I'm going to Luoyang to see this myself. Suddenly, a scream. Uncle! Father's condition! He's dying! Come quickly! He rushes to the bedside, desperate to save his fallen brother. Rest easy, brother. Luhuan and I are here now. You are safe with the former leader, Song Il-sun. The great master hesitates, comforting the fallen warrior while sensing a darkness that threatens to consume his soul. Disaster! His blood flow is reversing. He calls Luhuan. The young disciple answers with unwavering, fiery determination. Uncle, I am ready. He activates the 9 Revolutions mystic sun art, gritting his teeth against the chaotic energy. The blockage is deeper than imagined. Le Xiao pours every ounce of his life force into his senior's back. If the energy fails to reach the Dantian, all is lost. But then, a strange, celestial power begins to flow. It moved like a gentle stream yet crashed like a tidal wave. It was the main character's hidden aura. That ancient power was slowly purging the corruption, perfectly synchronizing with my own 9 Revolutions mystic sun art. He later asks Luhuan if anyone else had treated his father. The answer would change everything they knew. Luhuan remembers. Among the escorts, there was one youth who looked after him constantly. A true hidden gem. If you met my sister, you surely saw him. Though he is only my age, his presence is legendary. That man is special, his blade and internal arts are peerless. Le Xiao realizes it. It was Van Heap. Suddenly, the father vomits tainted blood. Panic rises as they watch the elder struggle for his very life. The internal blockage has shattered. That mysterious, dark energy was the key to surviving this deadly cultivation relapse. If only someone could fully tame his wild internal power. The master sighs, relieved that the worst is over. Observe him closely, Le Xiao. She bows in gratitude, watching the elder finally breathe a sigh of relief. The crisis has passed. The uncle wonders if only one with the physique of a demon lord possesses such power. What kind of monstrous background could produce a youth with such overwhelming, world-shaking strength? He pictures Van Heap. Van Heap bows low. My thanks for the journey, but from here, I must walk my path alone. The Tang family expert reaches into his robes. Wait, I have a gift that marks you as our own. He presents a family medallion, a symbol of ultimate backing. Van Heap sighs, tired of their constant recruitment attempts. Did you forget? I told you I am but a humble monk. He hides his true, world-ending power once more. The Tang leader laughs. This isn't a chain. It is a treasure that grants you immunity to deadly poisons. It isn't white jade, but it repels most toxins. Consider it a tribute for fulfilling my father's dying wish. With your monstrous talent, few could ever defeat you. But the world of martial arts is filled with vipers. When enemies see the Tang family backing you, even the boldest geniuses will tremble and back down. Take it. Van Heap accepts the token. A sincere alliance is better than a hidden blade. Fine. I shall accept this. The Sichuan Tang family is surprisingly straightforward. At least I won't have to worry about gold for a while. If you ever need white jade, visit us. Our family gates are always open to a warrior of your caliber. If my niece and the young lord unite, you will officially be family. Think about the power, Van Heap. Van Heap remains silent. That doesn't mean I will tolerate your schemes. We will trade when I visit. The Tang leader smirks. Changing the subject already? You truly are a difficult man to pin down, youth. Suddenly, a voice echoes. Van Heap, look. Why is the Kumthan escort flag flying over there? That is the most famous escort group today, the Tang member notes. It seems they've come just for you. Zhao An laughs with pure joy. It has been too long. I am thrilled to see you again, brother. Van Heap is stunned. Did they truly decide to continue their journey so soon? This was completely unexpected. Even more shocking was seeing the great commander here. How did you find me in this vast world? Le Xiao explains that after the main character vanished, they used every resource to track his legendary trail. Once we heard you were with the Tang family, we set out immediately. We couldn't leave you behind. Van Heap wonders why the entire group gathered. Le Xiao reveals the previous escort's troubles are finally over. Now, we must move. My uncle has arrived, and our next destination is the prestigious Namgung family manor. Thanks to the uncle's legendary foresight, they found the main character just as destiny intended. Van Heap watches. So, that man is the famous Song family leader? The chess pieces of the martial world are finally moving. After deliberating, the Namgung clan is our next target. Uncle's foresight led us straight to the young master. We finally found him. Yun Heap remained silent. So, according to Chief Tong, that man is truly formidable. With the elite gathering at the Nam Kung estate, he has no reason to refuse our banner. The heavy atmosphere suggests the righteous faction is coming. This is the perfect chance. I'll unearth the Phythian Dragon Gate's secrets there. You found a great inn, Master. The journey resumes tomorrow and everyone is exhausted. Even a leader needs real rest. You're a hidden monster, aren't you? I've heard rumors of your power since Lishao. We have time before the Nam Kung event. Rest and sharpen your blades here. This inn is deathly quiet. It's unusual for such a famous spot to be empty. It's as if someone forcibly cleared the area. Old man, what are you hiding? Sharp eyes. You're clearly after the Dragon Gate. Since Lishao trusts you, I'll be civil. Cut the act. Are you secretly in league with the Phythian Dragon Gate? I can swear that's false, but I have nothing more to say to a stranger. If you want the truth, you'll have to survive my elite shadow guards first. Such lightning speed. Underestimating these experts would be a fatal mistake for anyone. But they're nothing to me. One by one, these geniuses fall before my hidden power. Enough. Let's talk over wine. You've more than proven your legendary worth tonight. A drink after an ambush? You have a twisted way of showing hospitality, old man. Forgive the rudeness. Testing you was the only way to truly gauge your hidden potential. You live up to the name. Now, I can finally speak without any more secrets. First, thank you. Your mysterious energy saved my brother from the brink of death. The former chief? I merely shared a drop of my internal power. It's nothing. To you, maybe. But that mysterious aura cleared his blocked meridians like a miracle. He had a strong will. But tell me, who created that tie? At Scripture? Actually, answer this first. Why didn't the Murim Alliance recognize a high official like you? You have elite spies and fast intel. You aren't just a merchant. You're government. You left the Bureau specifically for this mission, didn't you? Am I close enough? Unbelievable. My disguise was flawless, yet you saw right through my entire soul. I won't waste words then. What exactly do you want regarding the Dragon Gate? Seal the perimeter. Ensure not a single soul overhears our conversation tonight. Your guards are decent. Touching my blade is a feat most experts can't achieve. Together, they might survive a clash with Ghostblade, but they can't defeat me. Ha. Cold yet arrogant. I've investigated you, the girl, and that swordsman thoroughly. She slaughtered 10 assassins alone. Then you 3 annihilated the North Forest ghosts. You crushed the Henan factions and hunted every last hacksaw rat in weeks. Your path of destruction aligns perfectly with my goals. It's almost fate. Get to the point. Do you want me as a subordinate or a partner? Watching for danger, Yun Heap sipped his wine. Your subordinates are impressive, but none can touch my blade. I never thought anyone could challenge my steel. Even if all 4 united, they'd barely survive a real fight. A battle against the Ghostblade would be epic, yet they'd never win. Jin Kiet smirked at his arrogance. I thought you were cold, but you have quite the personality. I've scouted you and the Ghostblade thoroughly. Even that girl, Jiao An. Word says she decimated 10 Black House assassins, all by her lethal self. Rumors say your trio slew the 3 Northern Forest ghosts. But you alone crushed entire factions in Ha Nam. You dismantled those who ruined the Bureau, then hunted down the Black House dogs chasing after Jiao An. You uncovered their secret base and slaughtered every survivor. All of this legendary carnage in just a few months. Coincidentally, your every move aligns perfectly with my own hidden agenda. Yun Heap simply bit into his meat. So, you want me as your pawn? Is this some pathetic attempt at recruitment or compensation? He scoffed. My apologies. Even as a lone wanderer, I've already secured every secret I need. Zhenjie merely waved his hand. No need to serve me. In fact, having you lead them is far more efficient. From this moment, these 4 belong to your absolute command. I trust your keen eyes to watch over them more than my own. The Flying Dragon sect is watching your every move. Only when they focus on you can I truly gather intel on their shadows. Yun Heap frowned deeply. Do you honestly think these experts will obey a loser like me? Especially that woman she views me as a mortal enemy. Zhenji smirked. I've already placed a wager. If they can strike you down, this deal is void. Their pride may bleed, but they will eventually accept this reality. Yunheep sighed, still feeling a trap closing in around him. This doesn't sit right. Call them back. I'll tell them myself I refuse. Seeing no other way, Zhenjie played his ace. I know you're searching for Tun Yen, the daughter of the Gansu clan. No matter your genius, solo investigation has limits. Dong Hu reported your reaction to the Tanmai group. That single detail told me everything I needed to know. Yunheep's eyes flashed with cold fury. Are you trying to lure me into a snare? Zhenjie simply shook his head. It is merely a calculation. Without proof, I report nothing. I only wish to show you the true power of a network. I've heard that outside of eating and sleeping, you spend every waking moment obsessed with the way of the sword. You already wield a mysterious ancient energy and create your own forms. If I offer you these, will you reconsider? Behold, the 4 great eccentric manuals of the heavens. These are the most coveted secret techniques in the martial world. First is the soul-shattering melody. Legend says its master drove hundreds of warriors to madness with just a flute. Next, the Great Ocean Scripture. Created by a master from the Eastern Isles, it grants absolute dominance over the tides. One who masters it moves through the depths as easily as a fish. Third is the forbidden Maoshan Grimoire. Authored by the eccentric Lu Danxi, it contains the most bizarre and sinister arts ever conceived by the Maoshan sect. Finally, the Phantom Evil Triple Strike. Left behind by the legendary Thunder Sovereign. We've only just recovered these scrolls. I cannot guarantee their contents, but they come directly from the Forbidden Imperial Vault. What say you, boy? Agree to lead them, and one is yours. Yunheep hesitated. Damn, that is one hell of a temptation. He's trying to bind me to the throne. But he's right, the Flying Dragon sect will only send deadlier monsters next. I need more power to reach the top. My current shields won't last forever. I must become the ultimate predator. Fine, I'll play your game. I'll take this one. Zhenjie's eyes widened. The Phantom Evil Triple Strike? Are you certain? The other manuals are far more prestigious and infinitely easier for a genius to master. It's named Phantom Evil, isn't it? That means it's for those who walk the dark path. It'll have fewer useless, flashy moves. Zhenjie watched him intently. With his talent, he could have reached the pinnacle with any of the righteous arts. He could have become a supreme deity of the sword. Yet, this boy is inexplicably drawn to the arts of the heretics. Will he walk the path of a hero, or will he become a demonic calamity like the legends of old? A man's word is his bond. Take this. This dagger grants you the power to command those 4 as my proxy. Any request you make will be treated as a direct decree from the royal family. Just do not strike at the throne. Beyond that, the world is your playground. Yunheep gripped the hilt, a cold smirk playing on his lips. So they're mine to command now? Summon them. You there. Dong Hu, you're the leader of these 4, correct? Each of you likely has a small army of subordinates beneath you. Dong Hu bowed his head in reluctant respect. Indeed. Each of us commands 4 elite captains, and each of them leads 4 specialized squads of their own. Yunheep leaned back arrogantly. Perfect. Assemble the lot of them. So, you're the guardians of the 4 directions? I am Yunheep. Listen carefully to my first command. I don't need any of you. Don't even think about breathing near me. That is rule number 1. Second, unless I call for you personally, consider yourselves dismissed. Go play in the dirt. Your intelligence network is impressive, but I hate people sniffing around my business. So, take a long vacation. Third, while you're out of my sight, Dong Hu will handle all the boring administrative trash. Don't disturb my peace. I'll be busy mastering this manual. That is all. Zhenjie couldn't help but burst into a fit of laughter. I've been outplayed. I never expected such a brilliant move. Everyone, disperse. The boy has spoken, so obey him. We shall see if he keeps his word. Elsewhere, Sihan leaned back in his throne. Have you finished the investigation? The subordinate knelt. Yes, my lord. The royal family and the rising stars of the alliance are making big moves. The puppet master behind the Namgung assembly is clearly the imperial lapdog, Shangguan Zhenji. But the Beggars' Union is different. News travels fast. The beggar elders have already begun their move. Though the imperial family commands shadows, they dare not reveal their faces. They cannot risk exposing their court identities yet. The real threat? Those low-life beggars who can slip through any crack unnoticed. The Henan sects are finally recovering. But now, the rising stars of the West Heaven Alliance are looking to trample our growing influence. The Tiet and Thoi families are thirsty for blood. They want to ruin our standing, while the imperial court watches from the wings. Forget the royals for now. Watch the shadowless god of the Beggars' Union. Send word to the soul-snatched magic blade, Elder Lim Thuyet Chu. Tell him it is time to eliminate that old beggar he despises. If they want to investigate the West Heaven Alliance, let them come. Deep in meditation, Van Heap seeks to master the phantom evil arts. To transcend, one must push pulse and breath beyond human limits. A normal human dies when their veins stop pulsing. But to reach the peak, one must shatter the chains of mortality itself. These biological limits are shackles. If one can break free from the rhythm of the heart, they can become a transcendent being. By sealing the blood flow and absolute control of inner energy, one can unleash godlike power. This is the phantom evil essence. This path completely defies nature. Unlike the great yin arts, this technique discards humanity to forge a true superhuman body. Its breathing method is a complete inversion of life-preserving arts. It was never meant to heal. It was built for absolute dominance. What a terrifyingly perfect manual. Only 2 hours of focus, and my body feels like it is being torn apart from within. I have only scratched the surface of the first 2 chapters. Without the great yin protection, my veins would have shattered by now. What lies in the final chapter? If I master it all, I will reach the state of mind-breath synchronicity, the ultimate union. When the body moves as fast as thought itself, I will become the phantom ghost. No blade will ever touch my shadow again. If my blood butterfly sword can strike as fast as my mind perceives, I will create a technique that defies all logic. But peace is a luxury. Why are you back here again, Dong-ho? I told you to go rest your weary bones last night. The scout leaped through the window, eyes wide. He was stunned that Van Heap sensed his presence before he even landed. Why are you still lurking around my doorstep? Van Heap asked. Dong-ho smirked, playing with his golden dragon dagger with casual ease. I can wander anywhere I please, Dong-ho replied. But his smile faded when he saw Van Heap's pale, exhausted face. Van Heap waved him off. Do not worry about me. The side effects of this training are just more violent than I expected. Dong-ho dropped the act and bowed. I have a request. Please, lend me your strength to save someone important tonight. Van Heap frowned. You have dozens of subordinates. Why come to me? Dong-ho sighed, explaining that his men were scattered on missions. The West Heaven Alliance is hunting a beggar elder. In 30 minutes, they will pass through this valley. We cannot stop them alone. Shangguan is away, and we need your blade. Van Heap scoffed. Forget that bear-like man. He is already too curious about my secrets. Dong-ho looked puzzled. I thought you two were close since the illegal gambling den incident. Are you truly not allies? Van Heap chuckled coldly. Everyone has their own agenda. I did not come to this escort bureau to play the hero for free. I have the manual I wanted. I could leave right now and let the world burn. Give me one good reason to help. Dong-ho looked at him one last time. I thought you were a man of loyalty and promises. It seems I misjudged your character completely. As the scout vanished, Van Heap stared at his hands. He retreated faster than I thought. He must be truly desperate for that elder. Let the West Heaven Alliance and the others tear each other apart. That would be the smartest move for a man like me. And yet, I should probably go and tell them. Tell them that I do not live by something as hollow and fleeting as loyalty. In the forest, Bakho gasped for air. Masked experts surrounded them, monsters who fought with terrifying, cold-blooded precision. The shadowless god spat blood, his eyes blazing. If you are Shangguan's men, then fight like it. Do not let them take you alive. Suddenly, Liam Tuyetchui appeared from the mist. Still as stubborn as ever, old man, I wonder. How long will you last under torture? The imperial family and the beggars mean nothing now, the villain sneered. No one is coming to save you from this nightmare. Dong-ho charged forward in a desperate gamble. Damn it, he is already here. The soul-snatched blade merely laughed at the pathetic attempt. He raised his sword to end it, but a sudden chill filled the air. A shadow moved. Van Heap had finally entered the fray. Faced the Shangguan with a suicidal resolve. You cannot allow yourselves to be taken alive by those monsters. Tuyetchui appeared, calm as ever. I wonder, if I break your body, will you finally beg like a prisoner? Given the absolute chaos you've unleashed, I have no choice but to drag you back in chains today. Neither the Emperor nor the Murim Alliance can stop us now. Dong Ho charged forward with murderous intent. Damn it, he's already here. Thuyet Chui smirked. Such a reckless fool. But luckily, Yun Heap's power was ready. Die today, old man. You killed the face? Can't let him escape. Monstrous genius, sword chi. Stall him. Save him. I'll crush you all. One strike. Too strong. Forbidden art. Focus now. Yin essence, save me. Wake up! Stay alive! Chi deviation. Stop her. He saved our lives. Don't let him die. One slim hope remains. Too late. It's serious. We must survive this. Memories of a beggar. Just a lowly servant. Shameful. Love the sword? Watch them. Arrogant brat. Pay for your pride. Mask ripped off. Now? 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪𝑰ℎ𝑩𝑳𝑬. He changed. A monster. Where is he? Missing. Reading a forbidden book? Let him rest. Near. He woke up. Pain. Where am I? Safe. You saved me? Even. Soul-slaying sword fallen. Awake? Tomorrow. We leave. Ready? Tunamchung. Fate. We helped each other. Saved from death. Angry. Elder One. I'm out. Chi deviation. Narrow escape. That reckless old beggar. Reporting to Nam Kung. Chaos worked. He's there. Almost died for him. Debt paid. Leaving now. Dragon dagger. I'm gone. I owe nothing. Quick. Captain. Why gather here? Dong Ho's voice trembled with excitement, claiming they felt better than ever. His companion looked on, puzzled by this sudden recovery. Nam Ho touched his neck in disbelief. The painful tumor he had carried for years had vanished without a trace. It was the divine energy of Tuvan Heap that the great lord mentioned. As the protagonist meditated, he sensed a strange resonance. An impossible sensation washed over him. Despite sealing his meridians and holding his breath, his body reacted instinctively. His vessel was greedily absorbing the surrounding essence. Was this the precursor to a soul-shattering cultivation breakthrough? Roaming the world was truly a brilliant decision. Every corner of this land held secrets waiting to be unraveled. At the prestigious Nam Kung estate, a legendary figure appeared. The ancient monster of the Sichuan Tang clan had finally emerged. Grand elders and clan leaders gathered in a tense standoff. The air grew heavy with the weight of their combined martial auras. The Tang clan elder roared in fury at the lack of respect. He demanded immediate submission from those standing before him. 30 years of seclusion hadn't changed his fiery temperament at all. The bickering between these old titans was like a storm brewing. Nam Kung Tuyendu mocked his rival's lack of maturity. The elder of the Tang clan snapped back with sharp, venomous words. Realizing the futility of the argument, the old master regained his composure. He prepared to introduce a hidden player in this grand game. Meet Trung Di Tai Din, the most honored guest of our Sichuan Tang clan. The young man stood calm amidst the gaze of legends. Tuyendu gasped, realizing the significance of the youth before him. This was the key to fulfilling the Tang clan's long-lost desires. A new era of prosperity was about to dawn upon their bloodline. But how did such a powerful figure join their ranks? It was a stroke of pure destiny that brought us together. We encountered him through a benefactor of unimaginable status. He will soon arrive at the Nam Kung estate to change everything. Tuyendu nodded, sensing the shifting tides of the martial world. The group moved inside to escape the exhaustion of their journey. However, the Tang elder's mind was fixated on the coming storm. The god of shadows has already moved his pieces on the board. The fears they harbored were finally becoming a grim reality. The enemy had ceased their games and begun their serious assault. They had to prepare for a war that would shake the heavens. Jiaoan stood frozen by the breathtaking beauty of the estate. It was a paradise far grander than any martial agency she knew. Tong Lishao smiled, noting the magnificence of the Central Plains elite. This was the true face of a legendary martial dynasty. Our protagonist reminded them to maintain the dignity of their agency. Even as a hidden master, he commanded respect with a single word. Why must I be the one to greet the clan leader? Yanhunbi grumbled, unaware of the destiny unfolding around him. Stop acting like a fool and follow my lead. Van Heap's eyes sharpened as he scanned the crowd for hidden threats. Every shadow in this place hid a potential assassin or rival. A sudden voice called out, breaking his train of thought. Famous warriors from across the land were converging in one spot. The atmosphere was thick with the scent of hidden agendas. This gathering was merely a smokescreen for a much deeper conspiracy. The great clans were plotting something that could burn the world. He hoped for peace, but his instincts whispered of coming chaos. Suddenly, a young woman blocked their path with a bright smile. It was the youngest daughter of the Bon family, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪. She greeted the warriors with a grace that masked her sharp eyes. "You haven't lost your dashing charm at all, have you?" she teased, before shifting the conversation to more pressing matters. "Have you seen the lady of the Tang clan wandering nearby?" She was spotted with a mysterious man no one recognized. A stranger? Jealousy and curiosity flared within the hearts of the listeners. Could the Tang heiress have finally chosen a partner? "Lead the way, for I must see this mysterious man myself." 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 gestured toward a group of warriors standing in the distance. "Look at those swordsmen. Their aura is terrifyingly refined." She pointed directly at 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 and his companions. "Those are the ones who were speaking with the Tang family." All eyes turned toward the man hiding his true power. "I must ask, are you the esteemed guests of the Sichuan Tang?" A warrior stepped forward, testing the air with his presence. "We are merely humble escorts from the Cam Thon agency." The stranger was stunned. He hadn't expected to meet such legends here. To cross paths with such famous figures is an unexpected honor. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 interrupted, his gaze piercing through the man's facade. "You're looking for the Tang heiress. She's in the eastern wing." His deduction left the surrounding warriors speechless and confused. How could he know their intentions without a single word being spoken? 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵's intellect was as sharp as any divine blade. "Your reputation for martial prowess is matched only by your wisdom." The warrior bowed, truly intrigued by this mysterious escort. "To deduce my hidden motive from such a small clue is legendary. My interest in your true identity has only grown stronger. Let me personally guide you through the gates of the Nam Kung. A wise man like you must be here on a secret mission." The path ahead was clear, but the real game had just begun. The demon lord in disguise was ready to reclaim his throne. My senses are sharp. I can see through their pathetic schemes and hidden thoughts already. The central plains are vast, yet filled with weaklings. This guide has no idea who I am. Everything is proceeding smoothly. My disguise as a humble, weak loser is working perfectly for now. The Namgung clan. They stand tall today, unaware a former demon lord is at their very gates. Look at these sheep flocking to their masters. This prestigious aura is nothing but a fragile facade. Their estate is massive, far eclipsing the minor clans. Finally, some prey worth my ancient dark power. Their smiles are fake, dripping with hidden daggers. These noble politics are a bore I've seen before. An 80-year-old's feast? More like a gathering of vultures circling for a piece of the pie. These great families are just glorified dens of thieves. Their hypocrisy is almost amusing to witness. Let them enjoy their final feast. My dark power stirs, sensing the hidden beasts among the crowd. "Who are those giants?" I ask. "Twin axes. They look like they might actually provide a challenge." "That's the mountain breaker. His external chi is legendary, said to make his body an impenetrable fortress. Blade-proof skin and a hammer that shatters mountains. These are the so-called geniuses of this era. Meet the Iron Yama. Thousands have perished under his brutal weight. A true monster of pure strength. Many have died beneath that crude steel. Yet, even these titans pale compared to their true leader, the lord of the Gongda clan. His twin rings dance with a lethal and unpredictable grace. Those small rings look harmless, but they'll sever a man's neck before he can even blink. Their trajectory defies logic. Unless you face death's edge, you cannot hope to dodge his strikes. External masters. A different breed from the internal energy users I once ruled as Demon Lord. My companion notes my curiosity. Little does she know, I'm merely analyzing every single weakness they have. Suddenly, an arrogant voice breaks the silence. A spoiled brat from the Jimin clan approaches us. "Look who it is," he sneers. He talks as if he owns the province. How absolutely pathetic. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪, the third young master. A snake who hides behind his family's prestigious shadow. He leeches off his brother's political power to bully anyone he deems beneath his noble status. His underhanded tactics have ruined many lives, yet he walks with the pride of a king. He doesn't realize he's just stepped into a lion's den. His arrogance will be his ultimate downfall. "You!" Zhao An screams. This coward sent assassins after her over a petty, insignificant grudge. "I'll make you crawl like the dirty dog you are." My blood boils at his disgusting audacity. How dare you insult me? He roars. He thinks his drunken excuses justify his pathetic villainy. He charges blindly, completely unaware of the monstrous power hidden within this supposedly weak body. A stray dog like him needs to learn his place. One strike is all it takes. I smash him aside before he can react. He flies through the air like a discarded rag. Floating like a feather, eh? The giants mock him. The genius has become a total laughingstock. Hey kid, were you calling us thieves earlier? The giant turns his terrifying gaze toward me. His hearing is sharp even from this distance. I nod, showing no fear. Sharp ears you have. He laughs loudly. My keen observation and blunt honesty have struck a chord with the beast. I like your spirit. How about a drink, little friend? An invitation from a monster. Interesting. A perfect chance to study their external techniques. I'll take it. Lead the way, I reply. My companions are stunned. They can't believe I'm befriending these legendary brutes so easily. They worry about the 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 clan's revenge, but I have far greater plans in motion now. We feast and drink. These giants rarely share a table, yet they've taken a liking to me. A real man speaks with his fists, they roar. They respect the raw power I displayed. They're simpler than I thought, obsessed only with strength and their own legendary, fearsome names. Thanks to my poison resistance, the alcohol is like water. But I can't waste time here. Time to make my exit. I'm honored by your praise, brothers. But duty calls me elsewhere. Could you do me a favor? Our hero asked calmly. The two giants quickly agreed to listen. I want to learn external chi techniques like yours, but I lack experience. Let us spar once. One giant laughed. Is that your wish? Too bad. I must refuse. Look at our reputation. Bad rumors about the 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 clan would spread like wildfire. I have no patience for such noise. Just stay silent and drink in your corner. For now, let us just enjoy this wine. If you visit our estate, we will welcome you properly. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 drank, noting their unexpected bluntness. I will not retreat. To crush them easily later, I must first shatter their mental fortitude. Let's bet on who falls first, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 roared. Soon, the entire city was buzzing with news. A mere guard from the 𝑘𝑚 Bureau had outdrank the two legendary giants of �Գ𝑚𝑑𝑎. Those drunks were utterly humiliated. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 mused. So much wine, yet I feel perfectly sober. Jan Hanbi stood nearby. You are awake. What has been going on in that head of yours? We cannot allow the bureau leader to be shamed by your reckless attention. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 cut in. That is why the Ghostblade guards him. With you there, my actions mean very little. Hanbi replied, You are powerful and dangerous. I cannot let you wander with lost souls. I never expected you to stay forever. But if you stray, I will cut you down myself. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 looked at her coldly. I have no intention of living by your narrow morals. Hanbi persisted. To gain trust and allies, you must adapt to the values of this world. The leader and the girl will eventually find their peace. But what about you? Think deeply. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 finally realized the truth. The Ghostblade and that wild girl followed the Alliance's path. The 𝑘𝑚 Bureau was safe now. It seems my time to leave has finally come. The shadowless beggar appeared at the window, startling him. You made that kid talk so honestly. You are quite the clever one, aren't you? Elsewhere, a furious roar shook the �Գ𝑚𝑑𝑎 halls. The two disciples knelt in disgrace. We have no excuses, big brother. They begged for mercy. The leader fumed. You drank with a total stranger and lost? How can you be so pathetic? However, my reports say he is the one who revived the dying 𝑘𝑚 Bureau. He is a hidden guest of the Tang clan and even offended the Simon Great family. This is the perfect opportunity for the 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 clan to strike. That boy is the spark. Since you became drinking buddies with such a man, your failure might actually serve a purpose. That brat could be useful one day. For now, we will observe him from the dark. At the Nangong family feast, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 crashed the party with a cold, menacing aura. Forgive my intrusion on this joyful day. I am here to address a grave injustice. Yesterday, my nephew was humiliated by a lowly guard. This has stained my family's noble name. I expect the Nangong patriarch to help us settle this. That guard is a Tang puppet. Uchi stood up in protest. Wait. The conflict was started by your nephew, not the Bureau. Dragging the Tang clan into this is absurd. Dikaio's eyes narrowed with hidden malice. Furthermore, another guard admitted his hatred for my nephew. My kin did nothing wrong. 2 guards with tang ties coincidentally attacking him? The odds are impossible. This was planned. No matter how you spin it, this was a calculated strike against the 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 great family, especially when young Master Uchi, a Tang ally, opposes us now. My suspicions are proven. Trouble was brewing. My son-in-law was trapped between these powerful and ruthless figures. As the patriarch, how should I act? 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 addressed the crowd with a booming voice. We are not asking for a complicated solution. We are men of the blade, after all. Disputes must be settled through martial prowess. The Seaman family demands our honor back. We officially challenge that guard to a duel. Meanwhile, the shadowless beggar cornered Van Heap. You are a member of the Gansu Shui family, aren't you? Van Heap's eyes turned cold. Even the secrets of the orthodox factions? The old man's raspy laughter dripped with pure disdain. Did you think Shangguan was the only one watching? Consider this a gift to clear our debts, he sneered. Listen well. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵, that vengeful snake, is coming for your head. He's obsessed with erasing his family's shame. Do not underestimate him. He has mastered the glazy sword, a technique that defies the laws of sight. Just like its name, his blade becomes a transparent phantom. It blinds the opponent's senses, leaving them defenseless and confused. His basics are average, but that treacherous sword has claimed countless masters. Watch the blade, the moment it shifts from horizontal to vertical. He's playing me like a puppet in his palm. Even his good intentions felt cold and calculated, lacking any true warmth. Tell me, the old beggar continued, what did that old fox Shangguan say about me? I met his gaze with a sharp smile. He said you were a phantom who held all the world's secrets. He also said you're the one pulling the strings for the Namgung assembly. The old man paused, his expression turning deathly serious. Is that so? Then I'll give you one final truth. Shangguan isn't just a merchant. He's the commander of a secret shadow unit. They operate directly under the imperial throne. That blue phoenix dagger he gave you is your ticket to a world of blood. We are hunting the dark cults infesting the Central Plains. We've joined forces to purge the rot from within the shadows. This assembly is a trap for a much bigger fish. We've finally tracked down the key player behind this chaos, the Supreme Master of the West, Heaven Alliance, the legendary great beast, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵, the monster behind every tragedy. That is all the knowledge your life is worth for now. But I had one more question. What about the man named Seol Subeom? The old man flinched, his eyes filled with genuine dread. He has strayed far from the path of righteousness. Do not seek him. With a flicker of movement, he vanished into thin air. I stood alone, a bitter smirk playing on my lips. The great young master, lost in the abyss of darkness? A man who once stood so tall, now reduced to a demonic lord. If a genius like him truly became a monster, then the era of peace is officially over. At the Namgung estate, the feast was in full swing. A glorious day. The patriarch roared, raising his golden cup. Seeing so many legends at my 80th birthday, I feel 50 years younger, like a dragon reborn. His rivals laughed, mocking his eternal arrogance. But the old tiger didn't care. His luck had never been better. Forgive me if I drink too much today. Let the wine flow. Everyone, feast until you can feast no more. Long live the patriarch, the guests shouted in unison. His son stepped forward, his eyes gleaming with hidden intent. We were worried about how to entertain such distinguished guests, especially those who traveled thousands of miles to be here. We've prepared the finest delicacies and the most divine music. We almost went bankrupt just to please your refined tastes. But food and music are fleeting pleasures, are they not? It would be a tragedy to leave without seeing true martial arts, not in a gathering of the Central Plains' strongest warriors. The crowd murmured in excitement, sensing the coming storm. Of course, we cannot simply ask our honored guests to fight. That would be a grave insult to your status. While I was agonizing over this dilemma, the West Moon family offered a most generous solution, a martial arts duel. The crowd erupted. The West Moon family? Those arrogant bastards? They always think the world revolves around them. But the old patriarch just laughed, liking the idea of a show. If they hadn't stepped up, I would have fought myself. Just like I settled the score 50 years ago. He stood up and announced the combatants. Representing the West Moon is their elite genius, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵, and his opponent, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵 Heap of the low-rank agency. Both warriors. Step onto the stage when you are ready. The patriarch whispered to himself, Sorry, son-in-law. But only a public stage can stop their petty schemes. My allies were fuming. This is a setup. But I just smiled. So the old beggar was overthinking it after all. He warned me about a night ambush. But this is much more my style. Simple and direct. It seems the Namgung family is trying to pay back their debt to me. I don't like owing favors, but I'll take this chance. I stepped toward the stage as the whispers grew louder. Isn't that the loser who humiliated the West Moon at the market? They're clearly using this duel for a public execution. Wait, isn't he the one who drank those giants under the table? He doesn't look like a weakling at all. Is the West Moon walking into a trap of their own making? I climbed the steps, feeling the weight of 1,000 eyes. In this world, power is the only currency that matters. This duel isn't just about me anymore. It's time to show them that this loser is their new king. Rumors spread like wildfire. I must vanish once this banquet ends. A genius from the Ximen clan challenges me. How pathetic. I smirked. Save the greetings. You'll be in my debt soon. The bell rings. The genius charges, fueled by mindless rage. His glazed sword strikes. A formidable foe? Not to a king. He rivals the three devils, but I've transcended that level. My dark arts are mastered. His swordplay is mere child's play. He leaps for a final strike. Die, he screams in desperation. The crowd gasps in terror, certain of my impending doom. So many people care for a loser like me? How amusing. My predecessor felt this too, but I won't wait any longer. I strike. Blood Butterfly Fourth Form. Hidden Shadow Awakening. One whip strike shatters his pride. The genius collapses in agony. The elders tremble. His legendary sword lies in broken pieces. Victory is mine. Now, I must vanish before chaos erupts. The crowd stands frozen. He's become a monster, they whisper. He's grasped forbidden arts. His aura has shifted into something godlike. A new legend awakens. The Namgung Lord stands speechless. Winner, Tuvan Heap. I walk away, leaving them in awe. What was that sword style? It's unlike anything on earth. That terrifying aura. His victory was an absolute, crushing slaughter. They fear my phantom arts. Let them tremble in my mystery. Thanks for the chance, Lord. But the gap was too wide. The Ximen clan needs better trash to challenge me next. Their leader seethes with fury. I simply turn my back. Wait! Where are you going? My path is mine alone. Don't follow him. He's walking the path of a lonely king. From the shadows, the god of shadows watches my every move. He provoked them to protect his allies. What a noble heart. I sit atop a tree, staring at the cold, silent moon. The wind is chilling, but not as cold as my past. Lord, why sit here alone in such a gloomy place? It's the guardian. Why are you here? Are you on duty? I'm just a guest. She blushes. She's a wanderer, just like me. I never thanked you for saving me. Not properly, anyway. It's late, but thank you. She hides her racing heart. We helped each other. It's nothing, she mumbles, looking away. Why are you really here, I ask. She screams in denial. Is North Guardian your real name? That's just a cold code. Pick a new name. How about Bakmi, Northern Beauty? You've been a shadow long enough. Reclaim your true identity. She's deeply touched. Fine. I'll take that name for now. But the consequences? You just humiliated a great ancient clan. I remember my true mission. I am searching for someone. We met by necessity. It's better if I vanish into shadows. He prepared to depart, but a sudden name stopped him dead in his tracks. Is Tung Yen the one you seek? He gripped her shoulder, desperate for answers. The Divine Maiden Gate, a hidden sanctuary where outcast women master the lethal arts. Could she really be there? A place of ancient knowledge and secret power. They move like ghosts to avoid the frost. Finding them won't be easy. With a nod of thanks, he turned away. His heart burned with purpose. This journey changed him. The weakest loser had finally seen the world's true face. He's humbled geniuses and reclaimed lost arts. He has a legend to tell her. Back at the banquet, the elite feasted, unaware of the storm brewing nearby. As the music faded, the true masters gathered. The great council had begun. My thanks for coming. Time is our enemy, so let's skip the pleasantries. The ghost shadow arrived. He had seen the face of the coming apocalypse. Is he even here? Suddenly, a voice cut through the doubt. Let us begin. Our scouts paid in blood for this intel. The darkness finally has a name, the West Heaven Alliance, a shadowy force reaching for the Central Plain's throat. Led by the rising, soaring dragon sect, they are gathering an army of monsters. They've already infiltrated the Martial Arts Alliance. Their roots run deep and poisonous. Their leader? The vicious beast of the secret cult, a man of terrifying malice. Beneath him, the four guardians. Four monsters waiting to be unleashed upon us. Only one has stepped into the light. Xuanwu, the harbinger of the West, the final disciple, hand-reared by the beast himself. A genius of pure destruction. The elders trembled. The world they knew was balanced on a razor's edge. We are blind and defenseless. We must strike before the sun sets forever. There is a way. An ancient secret hidden by the grandmasters of old. 3 jade Buddhas. 2 are found, but the third remains a ghost. What lies within? A power that could shift the scales of destiny itself. Only the Alliance leader knows. But there's another threat to consider tonight. The 2 legends. The wicked hero and the righteous demon. Their power is absolute. The enemy fears them. But their silence is a warning of the coming catastrophe. If we can track them now, it means the end is closer than imagined. The crowd erupted in fear. Have they already breached the heavenly demon city? Those monsters. They want to trigger a civil war and burn everything down. Will the righteous demon hero just watch? Or is he planning something bigger? Something is changing. The master is secretly grooming a new successor in the dark. A disciple? That arrogant old man finally found someone worthy of his legacy? Every master craves a legacy. But this time, it's a race against time. He's teaching the Asura Phantom Sutra, a forbidden art that defies the heavens. It's a double-edged sword. One wrong step, and he becomes a puppet of destruction. Can a mere boy handle such divine power? Or will he vanish into the void? A storm is coming to the heavenly demon city, a power that shakes the earth. Land sighed. The warmth of this city was replaced by a suffocating chill. It feels like a prison now, filled with schemes and the stench of betrayal. Ever since grandfather banished that boy, the light has left this place forever. This city is just a fortress waiting for a war it cannot win. He was brilliant, polite, and they threw him away like common trash. Dark omens loom over the heavenly demon city. The departure of a certain loser has changed everything for the elders. Even the seniors sighed in frustration. Since that worthless brat was exiled, young Lan has turned into a pillar of ice. Her faith in the demonic path is shattered. But before they could gossip further, an urgent message arrived for everyone. A direct summons from the city lord. All elders must gather immediately at the forbidden peak of the heavenly demon city. Outside the mountain walls, the patrolling guards felt the tension. Why was the city being locked down so suddenly? The city lord clearly has a hidden motive. Tightening security on Mount Tung means something massive is about to happen. This is a matter of life or death. Suddenly, a strange sound broke the silence as an intruder emerged from the shadows. It was the loser who was kicked out days ago. Why return to face your death? Are you here for revenge? His aura felt dangerously heavy. If you want to see the Lord, you must step over our corpses first. They lunged forward with killing intent, but he countered with a single, elegant strike that left them paralyzed with fear. Was that the Shura illusionary scripture? How could a banished weakling possess such a legendary and terrifying ancient power? That technique belongs only to the city lord. The protagonist realized his training was finally reaching its true, peak form. I wondered if I was practicing correctly. Now that I have seen their reaction, my path to the top is clear. I have urgent business with the Lord. Take me to him in secret. No one else can know I have returned. The elders gathered at the grand manor. Silence fell, as the powerful Ma-Heap finally stepped out from the darkness. I appreciate your prompt arrival. Using the heavenly demon order was necessary for the grand announcement I am about to make. This sudden meeting concerns the future of our city. We face a turning point that will change our fate forever. The Shura scripture made me who I am today. But even after decades of training, its deepest secrets remain a mystery. I cannot claim to have mastered its ultimate form. This divine martial art is far more complex than any of us imagined. That is why I have never taken a disciple until now. No one was worthy of inheriting this ancient and dark power. But today, a secret will be revealed. 10 years ago, I began training 2 children in the ways of the Shura. Van Lin and Fong Lin have learned the hidden arts. Today, they shall officially become my successors and lead us. The news sent shockwaves through the crowd. The elders could barely contain their excitement at this legendary and sudden development. We have waited a lifetime for this. The city lord has finally secured the future of our great demonic lineage. Our sex worries are finally over. With successors in place, our legacy will remain at the top of the martial world. The legacy of the Shura continues. Heavenly Demon City will soon crush all those who dare to stand in our way. While others celebrated, Elder Hoa Than felt uneasy. Something about this announcement felt like a clever and dangerous trap. Spies are hiding in every corner of this city. Why would that old fox suddenly reveal his hand to everyone now? He pretended to be a bored old man obsessed with games. Now he claims to have disciples? What is your real plan? The scene shifts to the dark manor at night. The atmosphere was thick with tension as a secret meeting began. Inside a small, hidden room, our hero sat waiting. His journey from a loser to a master was nearly complete. They finally recognized my strength. The city lord knew I would return to claim what is rightfully mine in this city. Suddenly, a telepathic voice echoed in his mind. So, you have finally arrived to face your destiny at last. They communicated through soul transmission to avoid spies. Mahip was impressed by the reports of the hero's incredible growth. You have mastered the Shura scripture perfectly. Forgive me for this secretive welcome, but the walls have many ears. Traitors and schemes are everywhere in this city. I must keep your existence hidden from the greedy eyes of the elders. Those two children will act as your decoys. While they draw the attention, you will remain my secret weapon. This is the beginning of your long-awaited revenge. There is a crucial mission you must complete in the shadows. The protagonist was stunned. My master has seen through everything, even my hidden hunger for absolute power and glory. Do you know of a man named Tu Van Heap? There is another warrior hunting the shadows of the flying dragon. He is famous throughout the land for his talent. But unlike him, you must remain a ghost in the darkness. You will face the coming apocalypse by my side. Are you prepared to bear the weight of this dark world? A fire ignited in the hero's soul. I will do whatever it takes to reach the absolute pinnacle of strength. I will pay any price for power. Even if I must walk the path of a demon, I will not fail. I am ready, master. Let the world tremble as the true demon lord rises from the ashes. Hanbi of the Namkung clan is summoned. Time is gold, the leader warns. Yunhyop will soon be hunted. The Western Heaven Alliance is closing in. A demonic path elder will appear. Focus on the final Jade Buddha. This clash is perfect. We shall gauge the boy's hidden, ancient potential. Observe him closely. Witness his struggle until the very last second. Snow falls at the hideout. Lashao stares, her heart filled with worry. He left in this cold? Where could he go in such a storm? Jiaoan tries to comfort her. That loner won't die that easily. Yet, he is worried too. Yunhyop left without a single word. No letter, nothing. Just a heartless departure from the senior brother. Is there any news? Suddenly, voices break the heavy silence. Friends arrive to say goodbye. Thank you for everything, they bow. Lu Hoa shows deep respect. Le Chao quickly humbleth herself. Yunhyop was my savior. I never got to thank him properly. He left so soon. I guess that is just the man he is. He faces the world alone. We can only hope for a reunion. Tong Huyen watches quietly. It is a pity to see him go. So many worry for you, Yun Hip. Your true journey just started. Elsewhere, the hunt is on. Enemies swarm Yunhyop from all sides. 10 days of bloody war. The number of pursuers never drops. 50 enemies are dead already. How do they keep finding me? I only rested for half a day. Their tracking is far too fast. The enemies grow in number. Time for the blood butterfly sword. First form, chaotic dance. Suddenly, a chain, sword strikes like a snake. The demonic elders appear. Dao Trung sneers at the young boy. You chose the wrong path to die on. Yunhyop calculates his move. They are planning an ambush. They want to end this right now. Dao Trung plays a demonic flute. Sonic blades slice through the air. Yunhyop holds his ground. As the smoke clears, the elder laughs. You have some tricks, boy. But Yunhyop strikes for the head. Thua Track blocks the blow. Now, it is a 2-on-1 deathmatch. Being outnumbered is dangerous. Yunhyop is pushed to his limit. That chainsword has a heavy trajectory. I must evade, not block. 2 more assassins jump in. He dodges them like a ghost. Dao Trung blows the flute again. A devastating shockwave erupts. A massive explosion shakes the earth. His life hangs by a thread. 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 stands, bloodied but unbowed. The elder is truly shocked. You survived my sonic art? 𝑰𝑵ْHEYOP analyzes their deadly coordination. Flutes, chains, and different styles. They are perfectly synced to kill. I cannot fight them one by one. I will be overwhelmed soon. I must unleash the internal energy from the great yin scripture. Maximum power begins to surge. Daotrung screams, "Soul-tearing sword! You old fool! You are just rushing to your own grave." Fourth form, blood butterfly, hidden body. Ancient power finally awakens. The explosion is absolute. Their weapons and flutes are shattered to pieces. His defenses were shattered. The enemy sneered, claiming our hero was nothing more than a pathetic loser. Though he used the Phantom 3 arts to seal his wounds, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪's broken body reached its limit. Every time one wave fell, another appeared. He desperately needed a moment to gather his hidden strength. In the shadow of death, a savior arrived. It was none other than the beautiful Tu Nguyen. Shielding him with her own body, she ordered 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 to focus on surviving this chaotic battlefield first. She secretly handed him a divine elixir, a forbidden medicine meant to ignite his fading internal life force. With a sharp gaze, Tu Nguyen drew her blade, ready to slaughter the scum closing in on them. Unleashing the white sword style, she danced through blood, holding off the elite hunters single-handedly. Swallowing the pill, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 felt an ancient power explode, far surpassing his previous mortal limits. First awakening, blood butterfly chaos dance. He moved like a reaper, instantly annihilating the approaching assassins. But this forbidden strength was fleeting. His drained body couldn't maintain such a godlike state for long. As he stumbled, Tu Nguyen seized the opening, carrying his unconscious form deep into the misty forest. Beside a hidden stream, she channeled her own soul power into him, desperately trying to mend his wounds. Using a temporary concealment formation, she bought him precious minutes to reclaim a fraction of his strength. Suddenly, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪's hand trembled. He looked up at her, eyes filled with disbelief and hidden longing. "Is it really you?" he whispered, wondering if this was just a beautiful dream before the end. Tu Nguyen nodded softly, amazed by his terrifying growth. "You've become a monster I barely recognize," she teased. She felt a wave of pride, yet her heart ached with the 3 years of lonely yearning. As his aura stabilized, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 focused. It was time to hunt the hunters once and for all. The enemy's next move was a mystery, but their leader's defeat would surely trigger a massive retaliation. "If my calculations are correct," 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 muttered, "the true mastermind is about to step from the shadows." He turned to Tu Nguyen, urging her to flee. "Don't throw your life away for a dead man." "I am just the bait," he warned. "Once I reveal my presence, you must escape the formation immediately. I don't care for the martial alliance or the throne. I will test these fools alone." Despite her fear, his resolve was absolute. "You know where the eldest young master is hiding, right? Find him," he commanded. After a long silence, Tu Nguyen suddenly threw her arms around him tightly. "I have waited 3 long years for your name to shake the heavens," she sobbed, holding him. Their brief moment of peace shattered as a crushing pressure descended. The hunters had found their prey. Surrounded by an army, the odds seemed impossible. A mocking voice echoed through the dark trees. "Impressive formation," the enemy laughed. "Finding a rat like you took more effort than I expected." Tu Nguyen's eyes turned cold as ice. "There won't be a next time for you," she hissed. Suddenly, 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 sensed a sinister chill. This wasn't the aura of a mere martial artist. He lashed out with his whip, striking down the weaklings, but a powerful elder blocked his path. He had underestimated these dogs. A heavy blow struck him from behind, rattling his very soul. From the shadows, a new figure emerged, eyes gleaming with a twisted, demonic delight as he smiled. Reclaiming his floating jade rings, the man gazed at the duo like a predator watching his meal. This was the sovereign, the true monster ruling over the shadows with an iron, bloody fist. "How fleeting life is," he mused, pointing at them. "Only in death does one truly understand fate." Tu Nguyen gasped in horror. The man standing before them was the legendary tyrant, Jia Luot Tu Han. "What a treat," the villain chuckled, "to find both of my favorite playthings in one place." 𝑰𝑵𝑽𝑰𝑵𝑪 gritted his teeth. Facing this invincible monster, he knew his chances were slim to none. "Run," he roared to Tu Nguyen. A genius like her knew exactly how dire the situation was. Facing the sovereign's overwhelming dark internal energy, The air itself seemed to scream in terror. Tung Yen realized the cruel truth. If Van Heap stayed to protect her, he would surely die. But could she really abandon the man she loved to face this living nightmare all alone, leaving him behind? Su Yon's heart and conscience refused to let that happen. Paralyzed by the agonizing choice, the young lady stood frozen, her logic crumbling. But then, Van Heap's voice cut through the despair. "Don't worry," he whispered. His unwavering gaze shook her soul. He stood like a hero destined for victory. He vowed to find her anywhere in this martial world. That conviction finally gave her the strength to retreat. Trusting him blindly, she fled. The enemy's pawns tried to block her, but their leader raised a hand. "Let her go," he sneered. "Once Van Heap falls, catching a butterfly like her will take 30 minutes. This was the fated meeting he craved. After all, this boy had escaped the legendary West Heaven trap. He endured for 10 days. "Just wait," the villain laughed. "Once he's dead, she will surrender herself." As Su Yan sprinted away from the goddess gate, shadows were already stalking her through the darkness. She needed to reach her allies immediately. If Van Heap survived this battle, she couldn't be his weakness. Her instincts screamed. Suddenly, an assassin lunged from above. His blade aimed straight for her life. Asterisk clang. Asterisk the East, West, and South Guardians arrived just in time to intercept the lethal strike. "We are here for the young master's lady," they declared. This was Van Heap's secret backup plan. He had ordered them to ensure her safety above all else. The East Guardian's resolve was absolute. "Even the imperial family recognizes your importance. Please, come with us for your protection, miss." Meanwhile, Van Heap was pushing his spirit to the limit against the monstrous Jia Lu Sihan. The villain was intrigued. 13 years without martial arts, yet you reached this level in just 3? Such monstrous growth was unheard of. He wanted to see if the rumored genius lived up to the hype. Ignoring the taunts, Van Heap charged forward, his whip striking out like a venomous golden serpent. But the power gap was immense. The antagonist blocked every lethal blow effortlessly with a single hand. "Aside from my master and the world's top 2 legends, who else can scratch my armor?" he boasted. "Let's see your true worth." With a roar, he blurred forward, attacking Van Heap with lightning speed. Death loomed, but a figure suddenly intervened. Bakmai had appeared to shield Van Heap from the strike. Even the villain was stunned. To think so many would risk their lives for a mere boy. "You have a talent for gathering allies," he chuckled, his eyes remaining cold and murderous. Despite Bakmai's aid, the enemy army surged. The villain unleashed his deadly jade rings in a frenzy. "Show some respect," he barked. "I've sent your friends to the grave. Focus on the fight, or die. If you can't kill me now, your fate is sealed. You'll end up just like that pathetic old man." His toxic words mocked Van Heap's mentor. The air began to tremble with a sudden, dark pressure. Enough was enough. The mockery triggered a primal, ancient rage within the hidden demon lord's soul. He pushed his refined energy to the absolute limit, channeling the forbidden power of the Yin Soil Sutra. Linking his core with the phantom evil arts, he condensed every drop of his power into one point. Internal pressure surged like a volcano. In a heartbeat, he unleashed a devastating explosion of raw energy. A pillar of power slammed into the villain, shattering the earth and shaking the very heavens. Did the blow land? As the smoke cleared, the look on Van Heap's face turned to pure horror. The monster was still standing. Only his armor was cracked. He stood tall, unscathed by the ultimate blow. With a chilling smirk, he beckoned. "Is that all? Come on. Entertain me more, little hero. Will our hero survive this nightmare?" Don't forget to like and share for the next epic episode.